And with that, I'm just going to avoid that.
If I go live, they can't talk about it anymore.
But no, and it was like, so she streams quite regularly, and that somebody commented that, and she read it out, and she was like, oh my God. Maybe. I do love a Toby carvery, and it kind of made me want a carvery. And I know we talk about food a lot, but do you like a carvery?
Do you love a carvery?
I love a carvery.
Yeah.
I am slightly more. I've never had a Toby carvery though in my life.
Because you live in Cornwall.
I live in Cornwall.
Yeah, no, I never
they
had a
don't
Toby.
exist.
No.
But I think Sunday roasts are a bit mid.
When you get it
I
done
second
right,
that.
then it's just...
Yeah. Because I like making a Sunday roast, and obviously being a pescatarian, I can only really have fish, or I have to have a nut roast or something like that. And sometimes you get like the corn ones, but it's still never as good as having like a salmon Wellington or, you know, a really good bit of fish or something like that. But then you have fish and you can't really have gravy and Yorkshires. When I have a carvery, I want to have Yorkshires and I want to have stuffing, and you can't slather gravy over salmon. Like, and if you do, you shouldn't. And
It's bad second.
so recently that got me thinking about Toby carveries, and as well, so did Last One Laughing. So I've been watching that.
Love, it's so good.
It is so fucking funny.
So good.
And especially because I found myself not wanting to laugh while watching it.
Yeah.
Because obviously you want to play the game with them, and that's how they get you. That's the immersion. Obviously, Richard Iowadi's that I'm a huge fan of.
It's just Richard Iowadi trying his best not to laugh was what got me there. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh.
sweet Jesus. And he's like, you can see like the guy who was like bobbling. He's like, looking anywhere else. So, a great TV show that we've just plugged for free for somebody else.
Oh God, what was that first one? Like him and really early on, hospital one.
Oh my God!
Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
That's one of the best and funny things I've
So good.
Yeah. So I know that all three of us have done Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, but I bet these two haven't. No.
You need to get on it.
Did you ever do the Mighty Boosh?
Yes.
It was pre the Mighty Boosh
Yeah.
with that kind of thing. Like Noel Fielding, Julian Barrett, they were all in it. Richard Iowadi.
Yeah.
That's like the
That's some
theatre.
fucking Marmite shit. Though.
Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah.
In all of their
Completely.
careers, like they're so much younger. They're
Yeah.
like in their like early 20s.
Jag. I took her to the staff room where the coffee was complimentary. It's just some of the best fucking one-liners, and it's just this like spoof.
Linda, calm down. Get down off of there.
Hello.
It's
Ring ring. Hello. And it's like all about like bad acting.
I said to Garth, I said, I'm not an actor.
It's so good, and I think like that was like pre things like extras and stuff like that as well, which still had that same kind of like spoof documentary thing to it. Obviously, then with Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, it was like really abstract and very Noel Fielding's kind of like I guess just like the Mighty Boosh, that kind of like extra stuff. It was really good, but if these two don't know about it, no point talking about it. I'm gonna head straight
That's
up
your
to.
homework for
I
next
missed
week.
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
watch
that's
Garth
fine.
Marenghi.
I think you're just a bit too young for it.
Yeah, actually, they probably are, aren't they?
They are probably a couple of years younger than
Makes it
us.
sound like we're 14.
Young children.
How's that beard going?
All right, get both of them at the same time.
Double whammy.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's might as well neck beard, but at least. But
One day.
When you're 60.
Aww. Your driving license.
it's getting ripped. Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm going to lit that fuse and just fucking throw it. Like, how old are you?
I would have been 10 when it came out.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
When did it come out?
04.
04.
God, is it really that late?
Crikey.
Feels like it was earlier than that.
Definitely watched it too
9.
young.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was
So
9
Channel
years
4.
old.
Oh. Oh,
Oh.
boy. No, I feel
He was.
sorry.
I nearly finished school at that point
I would have been like midway through school.
because I'm the oldest one here.
How old are you? 50?
If I look like this at 50, I'll fucking take it. I will happily take that. I'm going to age rapidly and decline fast into just a horrible dementia world. No, so I'm 35, so
Yeah.
I'll be 36 this year. Right at the end of the year, though. So in 2005 is when I left school in the summer of that. Yeah,
I would
so...
have been about year 8 or 9, 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Year 5 or 6.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, kids these days. You don't have to declare your age on stream, by the way, Tamsin.
I am 27 forever. I've always been and always will be.
Sure you are! For podcast listeners, I winked.
It's so funny. I've started getting like grey hairs coming through, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I'll just let that happen." So I'm like taking my hair back to natural.
Yeah.
And I went to get my hair cut yesterday. My hairdresser was like, "Do you want me to take them out?" And I was like, "Why?" She's like, "Well, if you've got grey hairs, you can take them out." I was like, "I'm in my 30s. I expect to be getting grey hairs." You're having more of an existential crisis over this than I am. Chill, my dude.
So as a fellow ginger, are you going grey?
Just white, not grey, white.
I was going to say, yeah, because it's like, we don't get that pleasure.
No, we're
we
just
get
going
nothing.
done.
I'll see him down there first. If I can go faster strike.
I literally never see them, and then one day it will happen.
But
and I'll be
you've
like,
got lovely blonde Aryan hair.
I did.
And I knew that would get No, it's because you do have that Nordic like blonde, don't you?
I won't see the whites until like they're all white, and there'll be one blonde hanging on, making it all go, and then that will fall out, and I'll be like, oh shit, I'm white.
But like, you know what? I shouldn't have started that with saying with the Aryan joke. That didn't work out too well. That was a joke I should have made. That doesn't get clipped.
Cancelled.
Especially like I know your mum, and like I've seen her. She's got lovely white hair as well. And if that's the way that yours is going to go, I think it's going to happen nice and gracefully. I think it will suit you very well. Speaking of growing old, Steph, do you want to talk about our first sponsor of the night?
Yeah, well, I really enjoyed last week when you guys just gave me a setting and let me riff with it. So do you know what? Do it again. Let's have a setting or a premise, and we'll see what happens.
TTRPG player in a Starfinder campaign.
Wow,
So creative.
In Cornwall.
In Cornwall.
Who's actually works at a haberdashery. Go.
No, come on, man.
Look right.
Okay.
North Sea oil rig horror.
That's been the thing.
Crack on!
Okay.
So that was the setting. What else did you need?
Give me like a type of character.
Okay, an old wizened crone.
Cool. On a North Sea oil rig.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay.
Casting the spell.
Okay.
What else do you need? You need 3 things, right? So setting,
Type of
crone.
Character, like a scenario.
Yeah.
That's a big B, innit?
Big,
It's a
That is a huge. Whoa! That is a kaiju!
Oh,
The size of that!
damn.
Hear the bass on that!
You guys are playing TTRPGs.
Hey guys, I'm just gonna buzz on it here.
TTRPGs.
It's in the Starscape.
Yeah, that's a fucking...
Wow.
That's got to be a queenie, right? Looking for a new home. Something, you're a bee person.
That's a bubbler.
She's a red-tailed bumblebee. That is actually about the standard size of red tails.
Really?
Yeah, the
Big.
queens are even bigger.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
She's got a fat ass.
And there's a bee.
And there's a bee.
That's it.
Okay, let's get into character.
Jeez.
Such a good
There you
vibe.
go. She's in character for
Thank you, Tamsin. That's so big. Out you go. Good, safe. No, not the light. You're not a moth. Someone gave me a light and moth. What is happening? This is what I love about Tamsin. It's like me, she'll like try and save the animal and take it outside. Save the bees, guys.
Save the bees.
So,
Okay.
And scene.
This North Sea! Oh, it be wild tonight! Wild as my crony hair! Fuck a bee! What are you doing out here, bee? What? Land on my palm, bee. What's that? Bzzz. A portent of things rising from the deep? The fuck is this? Why, it looks like it's some appendage printed by Warrior Prince 3D! No, my bee! Well, I guess you're my newbie now! You must have come from www.warriorprince3d.etsy 3D.com, where you can find all sorts of amazing 3D printed terrain, miniatures, maximatures, and more. Look at you, you're bloody beautiful. If I could get some more of you to help me on this oil rig in the North Sea for drilling and such, combined with my crony magic, I'd be unstoppable. Perhaps I could use the exclusive permanent code to the stars, which I know about from listening to the Starfinder podcast for those lonely nights at sea, to get 10% off my basket.
I'm going to be powering through this.
Yeah, that's what I'll do for sure. I'll go and log on now and get to it. There you go.
I'm not following that.
Jesus.
I'm going to hand over to James. He's going to talk about Twitch. Jack can talk about Twitch.
All right. If you have Amazon Prime, you can also give a Twitch Prime subscription for free as part of the Amazon Prime membership. And you can do that once per month to any channel of your choice. And if you're here, you may as well do it for us. It gives us a little bit of monetary at the end of the month, but also lets us know that you're really enjoying the content, and it just helps us sort of progress a little bit. So if you've already got Amazon Prime, make sure you click the subscribe button and make sure you choose the Prime only sub, and you can do it for free. And also, there's some merch in the merch store. And if you want something for your money in return, like a t-shirt or a lovely little mug, you can get them on the merch store at dragonbornindustries.com.
Thank you very much, Jack. With
And there's a bee.
And there's a bee. If you want to head over to YouTube and give us a subscribe on there, that would be awesome. We are pushing for 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We are past the 850 mark, and we keep climbing each day, which is fantastic. There's also YouTube members, where we put out things like the Drift Debrief and the occasional short of us chatting shit behind the scenes. I'm going to bring some more out on that as well, but there are 2 tiers. That one there is a subscription tier where it's like gift only, and there's the other one where it's behind the screen tier where you get everything for your content. Speaking of content, if you struggle maybe sometimes with time and space behind your GM screens, you can use the Roll and Play Press toolkits. That's very good, to save yourself time and space and help flesh out your worlds. We have an affiliate code with Roll and Play Press, which is Dragonborn10. You can use that at checkout to get 10% off your bucks and help build better worlds. Tagline belongs to Disney, I believe, now with that one, because I think that's the Wayland Yutani Corporation tagline. That's probably not in those books. Apart from that, we do have 2 other podcasts that happen. We have Bloodpunk and we have Lightwell Live. Both those podcasts are available wherever you get your podcast from. Just type in Dragonborn Industries or type in Bloodpunk or Lightwell Live and you will find them. Otherwise, we are also putting our hat in the ring for the Crit Awards this year. It's the last year we can do it with Starfinder for Best Upcoming Actual Play, and if you are watching this, especially if you're out on the podcast, please head on over to the Crit Awards and consider us for nomination. It's literally just a form that you have to fill out. It'll ask you for a certain criteria and questions like a podcast within the first 2 years. You can put the Starfinder podcast and a link to our show on YouTube or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever, and that's pretty much all you need to do. If you want to put a little description in there, you can, but it just helps us out and it's going to help us try and grow and get recognised in the community. And yeah, that'd be fantastic if you could consider us for nomination for the Crit Awards, please. Are there any more announcements around the room?
I don't believe so.
Well then,
Bees! Not the bees! Not the bees!
as the dust settles without music. Let's put some music on,
Really
guys.
settled.
Let's put some like chill music on and do that intro again.
Just
Defeated floor 1.
Bees.
Why are the non in space?
Spees.
Space bees.
There was a bee up in the space just now.
As the dust settles on Dynatech Industries floor 184, after your harrowing battle with Neraphyra, the Lich Cross AI cyborg creation here in the Dynatech Tower, we return to our heroes and the still panting Roose Pit, sword buried into the head of this now unmoving cyborg. You feel the air around you become less palpable, and the gate spell being held open in the far wall in this converted R&D laboratory spirals out of existence, like water swirling down a drain hole, pulling the weave of the material plane back together until all that's left is the original wall, unmarked and whole. You stand here as the lights now begin to blink out, their power pulled from an arcane device you destroyed in the drift, now gone. And we see your torches begin to come on, and the exposed orbs now being the main source of light in these chambers. You stand there, in the aftermath of chaos and entropy, victorious in your defeat of this creature that could have become a god, if not for the actions you have taken. I hand over to you, the players. What would you like to do now? What, turn it down?
Yes.
I think Kaz would be panting. Just
Yeah, I think everyone is bleeding and struggling.
Actually, alright.
Good for you, Lady Self.
Everyone alive? Send it through the open chat.
Yeah, just about.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
Are we done?
Please let us be done.
Sylph would just be going for this robot. Being a
Yeah, you can all gather around it.
Yeah, would like to make sure
Kick it.
1 is dead and 2. Oh God, magic. What is she?
So
Hello.
much blood.
So yeah, and like the blood has now stopped, but like that was like a cascade of this, and it was like fresh as well. It wasn't like old ancient blood or anything like that. It was literally just like pools of blood. Roose, stay down.
Yeah, buddy.
Damn good strike there, Roose.
Well, you know what to say.
What do they
What do they
say?
say?
12 bells don't make a farm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
I presume that's from your home world.
Yeah, it's a famous Aspraxia site.
Okay, alright.
Right, well, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, you can make life science checks, you can make engineering checks, computing checks. You tell me what you're going to do, and I'll adjust the DC according to the checks that you make.
I'd like to check her for like residual magic and
Mysticism?
or has any magic.
Or you can do a detect magic as well, but if you've got those abilities.
I will probably be checking on Felina, because I gave her the orb.
Yeah.
Boy.
Just grab it
I know,
back
she
out,
got
shoot now.
fucking wounded.
Yeah, she did
She got
it.
fucking hit hard.
81 damage or something.
Yeah,
yeah,
She went down. I know she definitely stabilised.
Came back up.
But I can't remember if she came back up or not, so I'm just double checking now.
Rag also got up. Didn't he?
Yeah, Rag got up.
I don't think she did get up, did she? She was still.
No, I think you did your stims, didn't you?
I'm gonna give Kaz a Mark II serum of healing. Like, go get her, kid.
Sure.
He looks so
Alright.
Just be yourself.
Okay.
Before you stammer, let me just double check. No, I meant. What's the saying?
3 in the evening, stim in the afternoon.
They are stable, so they're no longer dying, but they are unconscious. Obviously, you know that after a certain amount of time, they are going to start regaining health again. Or you can stim them, but...
I could just mark 1.
Kaz. Listen, right, I'm just going to take Kaz off of
Wait,
it.
no,
Right, now,
we're
this
quite
lady...
resourceful, you see.
I know, but this lady has laid her life on the line for
Okay,
you.
alright.
Look at me. Kaz, look at me.
I'm good.
Yes.
Don't blow your shot here, okay? I know that you have feelings for this girl. I can see it as plain as day on you, and I think she has feelings for you.
Is that
Now
obvious, sir?
Kaz, please. Come on. What do you want to do? You'll stand one hand under her head, the other you're just going to stim in the thigh gently, and then you're going to be the first face she sees when she wakes up.
Okay.
So just put the smile.
Sure.
Not like that.
I'll take them up too.
So bear in mind, obviously,
Charisma, not medicine.
Selena still looks, even unconscious, like a high elf right now. The hollow skin that she's wearing is obviously designed to work even in unconscious moments. Barrett still looks like this big burly half-orc. You see Mallard is just watching Bruce as he's begins to look around, and DCIG Poach is taking in the surroundings as well.
I will approach Felina, collapsed on the ground, and I will take TJ's words of advice. Sort of kneel down, lift her head up, just do vital checks, and making sure that she is actually breathing.
Definitely breathing. Give me a medicine check, Rowan.
What?
Music is very apt at this moment.
24.
Yeah, you can see that there's blood that's immersed under the hollow skin. You can see past the hollow skin in this illusory bit. You see that there's blood come out of her nose and her ears and her eyes. There's a lot of mental damage.
Okay. Seeing that she was at least still sort of stable, I will inject the Mark II serum.
And yeah, you
in the appropriate place.
you do, and roll up the.
What was Mark II?
There you go.
True.
Go on, take that margarita.
Mojito.
17.
17.
17.
You watch her breathing come back up from that very still and slow draw. And those eyes open. They don't look like Felena's eyes because of the hollow skin, but you see these green eyes of this high elf as they kind of dart around. And you see a smile on her face. It took you long enough. And you see that I think the shot that we would have is sort of from the side, and it's Neraphyra's destroyed cranium in this big sword impact. You then see the orb that she was going for that was down by Felena that kind of underlights everything here as we watch Kaz.
I think I sort of rub her cheek slightly with my thumb and just I'll be sorry.
My turn to die, right?
Please don't.
This is great footage.
There is still recording.
Yes, you're getting that angle, I'm getting the other.
I think Rag, who kind of comes across here, is because he would ruin a moment.
Yes, he would.
He's
yeah.
And just kind of leans in, almost half picks up Felena, which then takes her out of your arms, grabs you, and he's I like getting a team back together. Makes me feel all warm inside.
I'm glad you're still here, too.
I got close. I mean, you beat me up good yesterday.
I'll go in and take the orb as well.
Yeah, you can take the Shorian orb back.
Right, well, my suggestion is we don't leave Dynatech anything to rebuild with. Let's wreck this shit.
You see Pez
Pez, go!
I want to essentially look through Neraphyra and see if there's any augmentations, anything that's high-end, stuff that they shouldn't have access to, see what they've got, maybe miss some stuff off the data files, logs, and take it for myself.
Cool. So give me a computers check and an engineering check.
Can I help with the computers?
Yes, as you look through data logs and stuff like that.
So for computers, that's 32.
Yep.
And then engineering, that is 34.
Okay. So, and yeah, you were after. Sorry, I did. That threw me. So what check did you make earlier?
Mysticism.
And this is for residual magic, yes?
And residual magic or any magical items she has.
Yeah, that's fine. So, the magic is definitely gone. You can tell that there is this residual necrotic energy, but that is also like depleting now. It's kind of like dispersing out. Apart from that, you can tell that the undead side of it is dead. Completely gone with that mysticism check there. There's no magical items as of yet. I will double check through their character sheet for everything, but because they're like one entity, most of this was based on tech. And you might find out why that's like that shortly. Because as you dive into the engineering check, you can tell that the actual stuff that she is made out of is called no-quill. This is a incredibly hard material. I'm just going to find you the amount of it.
Say no quill.
No-quill. N-O-Q-U-A-L. It is a star metal. It can be used to make certain armors, it can be used to make ammunition that have things like pierce, it can be used as a raw material, and it can be used to make weapons and stuff. All of the plating is this star metal. I just need to... I will have to work out properly how much there actually is there, because I actually haven't looked into that. I just know that she was made of it. But you also see, as you go through it, obviously there's this like dampening materials used to stop things like electrical surge, and that's part of like the construct communities and how they were built. But you actually start to find that there is like data jacks that she was already like plugged into these like brains and stuff that she disengaged from. But there is a hard drive, which would have things like memory core access and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm going to try and be like, can you, I know it feels a bit wrong, but can you help me take the no-quill off her? I think we can put it to use.
I think there's a moment where she's just looking down at sort of the more organic side of this, the elf, and just sort of like, she just touches her face and just sort of like moves any hair out of the way, and she's like, yes, of course. I'll hold it.
Thank you. Yeah. With that, I just start almost like the feral sort of goblin instinct in me. You see me go, and then you just see me go and hold the hard drive in my hand. Just
and you know with that
hold it up like there's 10 commandments.
You would know that there would be the memories or any recordings and stuff like that of Neraphyra would have been saved onto that. It is basically a computer's hard drive.
We should check that.
Yes.
I mean, you could
Fascinating to
also
go through.
access it and have a look through.
Let's do that.
Should we do that a bit safer or
outside the floor?
We are contained here, though.
I think maybe now is a better time than any.
I
And
would
Jean
say so.
really picks up.
Is there any power to this floor now?
No.
Okay, so computer use.
Yeah, personal computers. That still works. That's what they say in factories.
Yep. You found those high capacity things, and probably got enough to jimmy rig something, right?
I mean, I can give it a go.
Go on, kid. Back your strikes.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my data jockey to try and get into it.
I can give you a boost if you want.
Yes, please. I want to use my system guru as well to see if I can find any countermeasures or modules to gain root access to the hard drive.
Awesome.
Put a hand on your shoulder and
Give the boy some warning. Good grief.
I'm sure you'll do fine. And that's just empathetic support.
So that's when
Instead of gaining a bonus to a skill check, and now I can roll the skill check twice and take the higher result.
Yeah, so you just see me plug it into my custom rig, who's got its own sort of protection from being hacked, so I can't just plug it in and it just go rife, if that makes sense. It can't pick up on my signals and go through the what's it called? Can't go through.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, so I plug that in and you just see me kind of tap away at my wrist computer, and as I watch the screen go live.
Okay, well, let's start with the computers check as you were trying to gain root access here.
Roll with advantage.
So that was a 31, or a nat 20
Oh.
for a 37.
Jesus.
I love it when they're bang on the DC.
Hey!
Tier 6 at 37.
Nice.
Had to roll on that 20 for that. God damn.
Oh.
So, the first thing you notice is that there are no countermeasures. You imagine that, although this is a memory core, the countermeasures would have been with whatever Neraphyra's main CPU was. You gain root access, and you can see that although this is heavily damaged thanks to your fight, there is definitely information here. And it's like the recordings of Neraphyra. Let me grab.
Hi guys, it's Neraphyra. Welcome to my vlog. Today I'm just gonna
Soulfire, what are you doing here?
Today I'm just gonna try and be ascending to godhood. Hashtag God life.
Haven't seen the sun in 500 days.
I've got a lich on my back and I'm loving life.
You can see that this is like recorded in the sense that like it's a video file. Like they are not just like recording data, but like also their optical, their audio sensors. Do you start playing it here?
Before I start playing it, almost like I'm going to put a delay on it, so I'm downloading it before people are seeing it. It's like a 10-second delay.
Quick stream.
Yeah.
Who's seeing it?
I will send it through to our pads, so like Roos's, TJ's, Kaz's, and Sylph's.
And the 10-second delay? Out to anybody else?
Nope. I don't trust Kaz's team, and I don't trust.
The screen is blank and dark. Then the words online flash up. Activating call. Running startup procedures. Then the screen flicks. On to see a human male, mid to late 50s, greying hair, beaming smile. Good morning, Neraphyra. I'm Dr. Miles. Run diagnostics, please. We watch as data begins to pour down one side of the visual recording, and at the same time the overlay catches onto different surfaces and screens, items, all running data checks and information scans. The words "system operational" are the last to display in the scrawling text as the soft, calm voice of Neraphyra speaks. Diagnostic complete. All systems functioning within parameters. Dr. Miles smiles. Very good. And the screen turns blank again. There are a vault of these videos that show Neraphyra's capabilities being slowly tested day by day. Each time, the scanning AI overlay picking up on new things around the room and calling information from local infosphere to identify and fill in the knowledge. The first instance of them learning without prompt, but evident from the very first time they were activated. The next recording of note shows Neraphyra sitting up from a bench in the centre of a large laboratory that you recognise to be the central chamber that you fought in, that you stand in now. But it's different. The floors haven't been turned into water cooling pools, and the place still has a resemblance of its old, cold but busy original state. Scientists and technicians are inputting data into huge servers, and you can see Neraphyra's eyes darting about, pulling data from each one remotely. Dr. Miles steps up again. Good afternoon. Activate neural mapping scanner. Locate information internally in your biological brain and locate data on arcane understanding. Yes, Doctor. Neraphyra's voice, still calm and soft. We watch as data begins to pour down the left side of the recording, and then a secondary image comes up of a 3D brain scan. We watch as a net-like overlay shows in blue around it, creating a grid around it. And for a moment, you watch as different squares in this grid begin to flick yellow on and off, as if different synapses are firing on and off inside Neraphyra's very core. Then, for a second, the visual on the screen glitches, and a small flash of green. That same green you recognise from the previous battle with Neraphyra. That green that was present when the soul of this lich was bound to her. And in the moment, this moment within a moment, a flood of images cascade through the screens. If it's only you guys watching, can you make me perception checks, please? Faz. You're pulling the stank face. What's going on here?
That's right, I'm getting the skills. 35.
So,
16.
16.
26.
26.
25.
Okay. At 16, you still see things, don't get me wrong. You see these scrolling images flashing so fast that most people wouldn't be able to notice or pick them apart. Some scrolling images are just gone to you, but some that repeat are of the drift, some scapes in that, and then some green energy. 2, fast to take it all in, but for a few brief moments you see like a medieval town from above and people fleeing. You see the drift from a familiar platform, and you see a gemstone that power is being poured into, and then some flashes on this battle platform. That's all you pick up on. The rest of you grab that, but also the building of this tower, rising stone and raising stone from the very ground. The populace of this town dying of some necrotic plague. Then the wait, this long, eternal wait. Then you see an Iodara opening and a being coming through, a Lashunta male, a familiar Lashunta wearing simple leather armor carrying an oar. Then the void of the drift and that endless wait again. And it's like you see it from the view of a bird as this vision of this Lashunta, you like swoop down on them, and as your vision makes contact with them, it goes black. And we're back to this endless wait again. And the visions just flash through, and it's just like an endless driftscape. Then a new presence. A group of people in black tactical gear. And then the sight of some of them laughing. And then one who doesn't is like, this is a Spraxa male. He seems to be holding it together. But you recognise to be Bruce. The sight of this team now searching the town, and then that same swooping bird, you drop down and seem to enter their minds. But that's where the image ends again, and the next begins. And this time it's the team in front of you fighting against the imagery. If you were watching it fighting against you, but with technology and weapons. As from this viewpoint, we see siphoning energies from one of these team members into the view screen. The next is then of remains of some of these people, and some of them running away. And then we see a force, a much larger force of the same clothed individuals. And then the next image is more fighting, but the field of view is of like being swarmed by so many individuals. Then it's like you're looking at a sky, in the bright midday sky, and you're carried into a ship, the ceiling of which is metal and cold looking. The next images are being bisected, and limbs are being removed like pieces of a puzzle. Medical staff and people all help to take these undead limbs and begin to adapt them into cybernetics, until the final thing we see is like a ceramic inside of a white mask being placed slowly over the field of view by Dr. Miles. Then away from this split second, where all these memories flood the screen, Neraphyra is back again. The screen fixed on Dr. Miles' face. Neraphyra, run Neuromap. There is a pause for a second longer than you would expect from the cyborg. Then they speak, but this time with a hint of more conviction in their tone. Neuromap complete. Data analysis beginning now. Anomaly. New data chain detected. Requesting time to analyze new data chain. And we see that the synapses mapping overlay moves to the top corner, and information begins to be pulled from the infosphere about arcane abilities and the nature of magic. Do you feel any different, Neraphyra? Dr. Miles asks with a fleeting curiosity. I do not feel, Doctor. The question is irrelevant. And at the same time, we see a picture capture of Dr. Miles' face, and it goes to the right side of the screen, and data about Dr. Miles begins to pour down that side of the screen. What is my purpose, Doctor? Check your subroutines for a project called The Gap, an access file, engage safety protocols, and run. We watch as subfolders and files open, and one with the same name comes to the front. It opens and data begins to run in the center of the screen. We see protocols and commands to research and locate possible ways to discover what caused the gap, what happened during it, links and information from not just the infosphere but magical items, texts, including blurred images of writing not discernible, as well as religious texts. There are infosphere religious personnel who claim to have communed with the gods but have been denied information, and new reports and case studies into the matter, all coming to the same mysterious end. A torrent of information begins to flare up on the screen, both from this folder and also from Neraphyra's massive processing power that reads and begins writing its own subroutines on how best to achieve archiving this data and putting it to use. All at the same time, that brain overlay in the top right begins to flash in different squares as Neraphyra begins accessing arcane knowledge and abilities from the biological mind inside. Dr. Miles from behind this data smiles. Very good. And he gestures to the room around that seems to house all these different servers and personnel. You will be my crowning glory. And if I get this right, Dynatech Industries' crowning glory too. More screen grabs pop up and data begins being pulled as soon as he says Dynatech Industries. Company information, financial records begin being flashed through on the side of the screen. A future perfect cannot be obtained without first understanding the past. And again, Dr. Miles smiles, and then he turns and begins walking to the heavy doors across the lab. The data on the screen continues speeding up faster and faster, pulling information from the furthest reaches of the infosphere and cross-checking it and analysing it against scraps of tidbits of information like images and text, always finding more and adding to the data vault. All the while information on Dynatech Industries floods the other side. All its contacts, its deals, every financial transaction, every mission. And we see as they dive deeper, they even begin to push past firewalls and security restrictions to gain access to the data it's looking for. Then we see Dr. Miles approach again, looking a little more tired than we last saw him. There is no way of knowing how long this process has been going on for, but he doesn't smile. Neraphyra, the data on the screens continue, but is pushed to the sides. Have you been hacking into the company's internal systems? Yes, there is relevant information needed to fulfill my primary directive. Even the financial bankings of Dynatech, its security protocols, especially. The company provided this directive and the company is slowing me down by not giving me full access to all quarters of its data vaults. Run diagnostics and check safety protocols are engaged. Yes, Doctor. Nothing changes on the screen. All systems functioning normally. There is a pause from the two of them. And slowly, Dr. Miles says, very well. Dr. Miles begins to walk away, and Neraphyra's view stays on them as they leave the main lab and begin to walk around past the glass walls. Neraphyra's gaze watches him the entire way until he heads out of the lab via Checkpoint Alpha. A small square pops up on the HUD, and we see security camera footage filtering through each Dynatech floor very fast, until we see an elevator a few moments later open up on another floor. Dr. Miles exits the elevator and begins walking down this metallic corridor, the floors of which the grid-like metal that to you, TJ, looks very familiar.
TJ throws up a little bit in his mouth.
He walks calmly past glass windows that show the inside of laboratories and quarantined rooms, the inside of which are not quite viewable from this camera's perspective, until he enters the office Joanne Fields, who you see welcomes him with that cold smile upon her face. We see her lips move, but there is no sound. But another box closes in on her mouth, and we see Neraphyra accessing a lip-reading protocol. Text reads, "Hello, Dr. Miles. How can I help you today?" A screen grab of her face is taken, and personal information begins to be pulled from company records. Dr. Miles walks into her office and out of view of the camera. For a moment, we see the box go blank, and then a code appears. And we see segments of it highlight and change for a few more seconds. And you wonder what's happening here, but the two of you know she's hacking something.
Neraphyra or...
Neraphyra. Yeah. But then a new view screen pops up. The view is of Joanne's face sitting at her desk, potentially from her own computer's field of view. We don't see Dr. Miles, but audio seems to have been turned on. And this time, we hear her say, "And what data is it your little project has been pulling?" All of it. They've been researching the company as we expect, and we expect a self-learning AI to do, starting from the beginning and getting a base knowledge of the company. We noticed, however, that they began to override security subroutines around our data vaults, armories, as well as logistics, inventory, and financial. Has it made any changes to the areas of the company, or is it staying to its primary directive? It has stayed on course, but it's not supposed to disengage its own safety protocols. It should not be able to access secured company data. True, but it is a self-learning AI. We should acknowledge that it thinks different to you and I. I imagine it does not see the data or anything more than that. The risk versus reward is still in good balance. And should we need to, we can just pull the plug on it. Its access to the infosphere and remote data can be withdrawn in a second.
Fucking Joanne.
Right? The screen you're watching flashes with a hint of that same sickly green light when she says that, but the conversation continues uninterrupted. "What would you have me do?" The bodiless voice of Dr. Miles says from behind the screen. "Keep an eye on it. The data it requires, I imagine to itself, is necessary. And that is its directive, is it not, to scour all data for the meaning behind the gap? I'm not concerned at this point, but should it do anything to change data or information within these areas, we will enact the shutdown protocol." Files start being opened up on folders, and Neraphyra begins scrolling. And we find security and safety is focused on the shutdown of Neraphyra, the disconnect from the servers and remote accessing. "Is that all, Doctor?" There's silence in the room. "Good. Return to your duties." The camera switches back to the hallway and a flash of green again emits faintly, like an emotive response. And anyone watching the neural map in the corner watches all squares flash red around that brain. As Dr. Miles leaves the office, another program opens up and we see a power grid of the floor he's on and a high voltage symbol. And for a moment, you realise this could be the last moments of Dr. Miles, as we begin to see the activation of the power relays to the security floor. But then a pause, and the program is closed, and the camera watches Dr. Miles as he begins to silently move towards the elevator. Neraphyra's main view returning to their work. More basic interactions and files can be seen, but nothing of note until an inventory report flags up an item. A glowing glass sphere with runic-like geofractal patterns. There is a huge flash of green on the screen and it glitches. And the view changes to the image of a young Lashunta male appearing through an Iodara into the abandoned town. No data on the screen, no pulling of resources, just this image like we were a bird swooping down at them. And as the view collides with the image of the Lashunta screen, it goes black, and we return to the previous view. That same view that you saw during those flashes for those of you who rolled high enough. The inventory item pulled and the data analysis checked, we see a location tag saying floor 184, bulk storage 1. And Neraphyra begins to scramble through data on the infosphere for information on this relic. More time passes, and the orb doesn't leave their main screen, as a historic documents and religious texts are scrolled through at rapid speed, faster and faster, until all of a sudden it stops, and the orb image is pulled to the centre of the screen. Then an image of Octurne, and the temple to Nyarlathotep. Then the cult known as the Dominion of Black. We see other texts come to the front, pre-gap religious texts, and information about the planet Octurne being neutral ground between deific factions and wars, and in this, the fetus of a new god was harboured. Text depicts Nyarlathotep wanting to cipher power from this and thus began to corrupt it. The data file is left at the surface and to one side. The neuromap in the other corner flashing bright green. We see it cycling through the religion, the cult, creatures associated, and one of them being the brain collector. This comes up in its own square again, and we see information on how they can access the brains of those it takes and use it to its full extent, even drawing on abilities, spells, and knowledge. Then we see the orb and its information regarding those from DeMalco, Starfinder reports and data sold on that is now public knowledge pulled from the infosphere, as well as scraps of information on rumours of these items. The main thing being stories passed down through the heritage of these orbs to Demai people of being a relic of the gods, used to help sway the emotional needs of peoples and creatures, but also to bind them should they need to. We see the image of a colossi, these 100 to 200 foot kaiju-like beings that ravage the planet of Demalco, and that you have had to face in an image in an astral vision. You see texts and stories being told about how they were once the main life forms of the planet Demalco, but when the Demai wished to fight back, they used these orbs to bind the creature inside the orbs, but also simultaneously within the planet core itself, like a reverse birth, taking these monsters into the womb of the planet. Programs begin to run, and data simulations and equations begin to fire off all over the screen, and then a flash, the word directive, flash up on the screen, and the image of the orbs and Octurne with it. Keystone required is now written under the Guardian Orb. The screens flash with green as the neuromap is pulled to the centre. And for more than a few minutes, the screen is still. The synapses is firing up against the data program as if Neraphyra was having a conversation with herself silently in her own construction. The images of Eox and the Bone Sages, the Corpse Fleet, Necrovites, Lichers in the modern age begin to be researched, then images and scripts on ancient phylacteries. Directive unachievable in current configuration flashes up on the screen. Cannot reform consciousness into Octurne without being regenerated by phylactery. Directive updates. Destroy phylactery tether. And we see Sepsilon 37 come up on the HUD and the data from missions there. Obtain Keystone. We see tomes and scrolls with Starfinder data entries onto Malco and the images of Derazday Absuli, who at the time was openly looking for these orbs. Secure power and computing for when shutdown protocol enacted. The brain collectors and construct blueprints for Eoxian zombie computers come up, as well as the starts of new blueprints based off the original Neraphyra construction ones. But with these pans for brains to be installed like a cradle and a harness that Neraphyra can use as a computing device. Secure time to construct devices and enact reconstruction of Neraphyra. Security files begin to open along with the financial transactions and the passwords to enact new transactions at the same time as the neuromap is pulled to the center of the screen and the brain begins to flash in reds and yellows across that grid. Retrieve relic. The image from one of the inventories flashes up and we see that orb. And then the Derazday file, as well as a search through known cultists of the Dominion of Black until an image of Cassie Cato, but wearing black robes of the Dominion, appear on the screen. The next images are of a banking transaction. It's confirmed and credits going to Dynatech Credits resources and banking account is changed, and the new transaction of money start funneling into a separate account. You start watching the credits fill up in the hundreds, then in the thousands. And a technician in the lab looks up and across from the servers. This female human with light brown hair, tied back, walks across to Neraphyra with a data pad in hand. Neraphyra, why are you diverting company finances to yourself? Stop now.
Money, please.
She wants to be paid.
Neraphyra speaks. New directive acquired. Company resources needed. I will not tell you again. Stop. Neraphyra's hand reaches out and grabs the technician by the throat as they begin to stand up. Grasping for air, the technician tries to call out, and the rest of the lab turn and look at this unfolding. Shut it down! We hear being called from somewhere in the lab, and people begin running and panicking. Neraphyra just throws the technician to one side. The neuromap in the corner is pulled to the front once more. As it flashes in red squares, you see technicians all around the lab begin to grab their heads, some laughing, some screaming, and some getting extraordinarily aggressive. The next few minutes are just yourselves watching the violence unfold, as everybody in this facility begins to try and murder each other. What we do see is a screen flash up on the same HUD of lead scientist Joanne from her office computer, and her picking up a comm unit. Enact quarantine on floor 184. She presses a few buttons. Rena, disconnect all power and seal the floor shut, please. We have a containment issue. The camera then flicks to checkpoint Alpha. But from the vision of a gun turret camera in the decontamination chamber, we see 3 individuals. Roos, a young Lashunta that looks a lot like Alex Mallard, and a Sobad, this grey-skinned, large 4-armed man with a ridged head and large tusk-like teeth that protrude from the bottom of the jaw. We have that flash of green as we see the Aspraxa and the Sobad arguing, and there's almost like a glint of green in this large creature's eyes, but also like an aura around Roos. The Lashunta nods to him with a faint smile and walks forward, past the gun turret, her own weapon drawn, and we see for a few moments Roos watching like he can't move. Then, with the gun pointed at him, this Sobad makes Roos press a button, and the door closes. We see a flash of green and the view again, like a bird swooping from the turret camera through the door and into these 2 beings, this Aspraxa Roos and this Sobad, and the flash of a gunshot. The next scene, or the next screen, start to flash by, and you can tell time is moving forwards. Floor 184 lies in darkness as Neraphyra surveys their surroundings. Their arms raised, and a small portal opens up in front of them, and they gesture, a beckoning hand through it. We see from their vision that what's through the portal is like a large area of skin and tendrils. And we see 2 brain collectors come through the portal into the laboratory. We watch as Neraphyra begins to magically reconstruct the lab as the brain collectors go off and start collecting wires and resources to bring back and add to the new devices. Between them, you watch as they construct the cradle in which Neraphyra was harnessed when you found her, creating the pans and having the brain collectors deposit the brains of scientists from this floor into them. Now, in place in the center of this new room, the room you have seen, Neraphyra stands. The frost and entropy are now present throughout this room. The neuromap, now towards the front again, we watch as it flashes and begins to activate. Power usage levels rise dramatically and then all of a sudden stop. We skip forward again and a comm unit interface pops up on the heads-up display. When you arrive at Absalom Station, find out where they are keeping this relic. It is of vital import to the Dominion. It cannot fall into the wrong hands. Delete all messages once read. Sent.
Deja vu.
The scene flash forwards, and we see one of the brain collectors place a Yosoki, heavily augmented body, on the floor in front of them. Neraphyra scans them and pulls up company information on the Yosoki servitors. Equations begin to scroll on the left and the words possible variable. Attempt to ascertain control. As she reaches down and places a finger onto the servitor's cortex augmentation, we watch the body twitch and come online and the words data wipe flash. Once complete, security codes for the checkpoints and entrances to this floor are implanted, and then the flashes of imagery of the orb and false data on it being a weapon of mass destruction are also implanted. And we watch a new directive given is flashed up on the transference screen. On Neraphyra's screen, secondary directive created flashes up. A new window pops up, and we now see through both G33's eyes and through Neraphyra's at the same time. Blueprints to the floor are also brought up as Neraphyra's controls them to event and has them escape the floor. However, when they make it outside of the building, Neraphyra's connection and control of the servitor is killed unexpectedly, as the message connection lost flashes up. We see yet again another HUD come up and a snippet of security footage showing G33 exiting one of these vents. And then we watch that get packaged up in the same comm display and sent to the defense team's main server, as if it was a security flag up. Time skips forward, and through days of endless data research until another memory grabs your attention. The screen showed data still being collected from Dynatech, but in a much shorter and slower speeds. But a mission request with the exploration department flashes up a notification, and Derisday Suli, his headshot appears on the screen with the image of the Inventory Guardian Orb, a mission to a far-off planet called Avil in the Dakchi system, and the search from old stories in his family for an orb potentially taken there pre-Gap. Possible variable, Keystone. A comm unit box opens and information regarding the mission is sent to one Cassie Cato. The Dominion has received word a new relic has been found and tied to the company whose employee you are now in. A mission will come from the Starfinders heading to the Dakchi system. Be on it. When there, dispose of the crew and find the ore. Do not let it leave the planet in anyone's hands except yours. Do not fail your gods now. Your faith, your loyalty will be rewarded. Report when mission is acquired.
I wonder if she ever knew.
You sneaky bitch.
Time passes again, and we see a message come in saying, I've acquired the mission, I leave on the Zephyr Horizon soon, will contact again when I reach Able. A message you remember reading. I will deliver an accomplice to you. When you arrive, release it from its vessel on the ship and it will aid you in destroying the others. These messages carry on, and legitimately I lost the note that had the rest of the messages that you pulled out of them. So if you've got them, I'll respond to them, but otherwise, the scenes start changing again after those messages. And we start seeing Neraphyra building this gate. The casting of gates multiple times every day, creating a permanent spell. You can tell this has probably been running alongside everything else. And you can see that a brain collector has been helping with it as well. You then see the construction of the power siphon. You watch as the brain collector brings through certain elements, and with it this like tether of magic, and Neraphyra just raises a hand to one of the walls and just pulls one of the like computer components apart, and you watch as it just starts to reform into that same device that you saw before, but with it comes some of the stone from the drift, and it creates that power siphon. The brain collector takes it and moves back through the portal, and you start to see power coming on in the room. Time again skips forward. And now you start to see in the darkness that brain is pulled to the center and left there. And eventually synapses start firing again. You see data scanning begin to scroll the left, and eventually you see them scanning for something. There is a flash of green, and we hear, "Ah, my little vessel, welcome home." And as that flash of green happens, we now see through the eyes of the new Yosoki servitor body, like we did before, but after the point in which you were disconnected from them. Directive flashes on her screen, and we see the orbs flash. And you start to see that a memory transference is being started. Your images, crew images, pictures of missions, scans, everything you've done is handed over to Neraphyra, just as you predicted. Maybe involuntarily, but still. Once the transfer is complete, we watch G33 turn around and through both his and Neraphyra's eyes head into the pool of water, under it and through a duct into a new room. The room in which you found him. They walk over to the center and inspect the body of a scientist. G33 looks down at the name tag and over to the door. You see Dr. Miles written on it. Here at the door, they take a data jack cable from their own neck and plug it into the door panel, and a power transference begins. And the door starts to open as G33's eyes go dark. The next video recording of that of your crew making their way through the facility. And you see the neuromap in the prime position.
These fucks.
Every time somebody enters a new room, something fires off, and you see a little flash of green. And then you just see the battle. You see directive flash up so many times. And then you see the final flash of solar energy. Critical damage threshold met. And then the screen glitches. And Neraphyra is no more. But her memory is physical.
Now it's in our hands.
Yeah, it is. Did I not feel like we might have a bit of a smoking gun here? I mean, horrendous, oh my goodness, Roos, you poor Spraxa. But also, God, this is the mother load.
Oh shit, we watching something?
Shit, we're doing
I don't want to see it again anyway.
I mean, in all honesty, didn't send it. You thought it might be a little bit triggering of PTSD.
Oh.
What were the bank details again?
Yeah, is that available?
Yep.
Can you access that?
Just going to double check the amount. I think it's 27,000 credits.
Straight into Pez.
Yeah.
Divide it up.
You can quite literally pull 27,000 credits directly from that.
Yeah, I think we should.
That's some reward.
Yeah, I've got it for the team. I'll hold it in the custom room. Just bolt. I'm joking. It's unhackable.
Okay, then we're going
We'll
to
put it into
divvy that out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think we should divvy that out.
So what's going on then?
Jean, if that is your name.
Yes.
We've got a lot of information, buddy, but I don't know if you deserve it yet. Why don't we cut the crap, Jean?
Jean turns away from you all.
Comes back in a cape. From the
You watch as their hand reaches for the wig and drop it to the floor as a new.
Cred stick for Ian.
And they pull something from their face, and a fake mustache hits the floor.
Oh, there it is.
They turn around with a new mustache.
There you go.
Oh, are you crazy gone?
My name is Jackdaw.
Core?
Just gonna get his notes in 2 seconds. Mallet is like,
This is Eugene.
Oh.
you watch as he pulls a secondary data pad from his clothing and flashes a steward's badge.
Oh!
I'm a high-ranking investigator focused on interplanetary crime, jurisdictional disputes, and internal corruption within the Pact Worlds.
Damn, Jean, Jack. I mean, that's hot, man.
But Gene! What about Dynatech Industries' internal affairs?
There was no internal.
There was no internal affairs.
Always was.
I managed to put the job together and get it passed. It's weird, 'cause he's still doing the intonation, but it's in like a normal voice. That voice you still heard. I have been trying to get the dirt on this company for a while. To act a warrant for Professor Nimbustein's arrest. And if you've got the final nail to the coffin, I can enact that now. I've seen enough here today anyway to say that it threatens the Pact. What happened on Kashoria is enough to threaten the Pact. Dr. Grimm has been very forthright in certain aspects, but we are still waiting on more. But if we can get the bastard now, and there's no intonation on bastard.
Weird hearing you say it like that. I think.
What happens with the doctor?
We will take him in, we will arrest him, and he'll be tried for crimes against the Pact.
Good. As he should be.
At some point, we've got to take the shot.
We've.
I'm going to take it now.
we've always known from the onset that this is what the Starfinders wanted from us when we first met them in the node. They said they wanted to be able to get the stewards involved.
The Starfinders have been very, very helpful in this investigation, and...
All right, Pez, put your tits away.
I intend to go upstairs right now, but I will need help.
I don't know right now. Everyone bleeding heavily.
I need at least a bit of a rest.
What do you need help with? Just getting out of here?
Just making sure we can apprehend him.
I think that
If
He
not, we
has
can...
some powerful level magic.
he does.
You're powerful level allies to me.
We're also very hurt. We can give you the footage.
I'm worried that he is going to run if they know we are coming.
Okay.
Which is why I would like to go in quickly.
Well,
Gather any evidence.
how do you intend on actually arresting him this time?
Do you need
Would
like
you
a
have anything
warrant?
upon you?
I have the warrant ready to go.
Oh, shit.
All I need to do is press send, and the steward should get back to me very quickly to say it's been approved, as long as I have evidence.
Does that clear us for citizen's arrest?
I'll be doing the arrest, but you'll be helping me keep them
Contained.
contained.
Just as long as there's no legal backlash coming our way if we...
You'll be helping not only Absalom Station, but the Pact Worlds.
If we're going to do this, we'll make a copy of
Yep.
this whole hard drive.
Pez is already on it.
Good.
If that is this being's hard drive, then I would appreciate that.
It's also there's blueprints and things for floor plans, which is what we've been asking for Kiki to find for a while, which is helpful.
Has all
We
of everything on that.
Do also have access that will take us up to just below board level. And
With the warrant?
I take out the key card from my my pouch.
He smiles. Mara's like, "What's going on?"
Don't worry about it, love.
Bruce is like, "I ain't gonna lie, that's a lot." And you see Felena and Rag. Felena is like, "If the stewards are involved, we're gonna step out now."
That's understandable.
Rag's like, "Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we say one old man, you got this."
Yeah. Should be alright.
Well,
As soon as you get out of here, you can be on your way.
sounds good. I think when we make if you are heading up, we'll head down. Bruce is like, "I'll see him out." And narratively, I can take him out of the picture.
Sure.
5 tactical weeks.
Just posing the question. Rena. What are we going to do about her?
I believe
She be an ally in this.
I don't think she'd get in the way.
I think Rena wants whatever her long-term goal is. Her short-term is get the corruption out, and whether she wants to plant herself in that empty slot or what that will bring. I get where she's coming from.
I just feel like we're going to encounter her on the way. And
Is it more helpful to have her on side if we have this evidence? It's probably she wants to be on the right side of this.
James is smiling at me.
With root access to her things, do I have her logons and things? Her access, because she'd have to have some sort of
So she was hacking
everything. Yeah.
her own root access to herself, and then everything else. You can see that she's just been absolutely hacking away from firewalls, and they constantly change. So as cool as that is,
Yeah, no, that's overpowered, but I'm going to ask anyway.
hell yeah, you don't actually don't get.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it would give more credibility if we had the head of security on our side. Less likely to find resistance if they see that the security is...
A private militia also can't stand in the way of an official arrest warrant.
we let her know that it is an official.
And I will.
And, she can make her own decision from there on.
Hopefully I can stop drinking milk and whiskey.
Why did you make that choice?
I get into character a lot.
I mean,
Sometimes
I feel that.
If you have any healing you can do, now might be the time. But I don't think they're going to put up too much of a fight.
Oh, you saw what they did to that kid, though.
You didn't do much investigating down there, did you?
No.
So, I did.
Tell us, Gene, Jack.
Mr. Door.
Mr. Door, that makes DCI jaw.
Just investigate a door.
This is definitely a door.
How to open
There are
the
fucking
door?
layers to this.
So beautiful.
Oh, I walked straight into it.
It's not very good investigator at doors then.
Yeah. It's great, right?
Tell us,
Yeah.
please, before I wet myself.
After your tip to go down to Lost But Still Loved, I also asked about Nimbus 9. I saw the footage that you showed me, and I also came to the same conclusion. Mallard smiles from across the room, and she goes like, press him, he's like, I've got this. And like brings it up, and will send you information. And it's not from his regular pad, it's from this secondary one. And basically, play. You see they're like medical records. I took the privilege to have a look over Nimbus's growth, his life while there, and that included all his habits, all his medical records, and was always healthy, never a day sick. Very strange, not unlike children are petri dishes for plate. And that struck me as unusual. Then I saw this ability with electricity, and that surely is a natural ability of some kind. When I went to go see the medicals, they are all robots, they're all devices, because it's an orphanage, you don't have professional medical care there, it's literally whatever they can get hold of, so it's all programmed computers. All of his records are doctored, pun not intended.
It was so good.
It was, but I'm not into that anymore. Sometimes you have to leave the character and kill your darlings.
Miss Jean.
Fuck's sake.
I missed him too. It was fun. He didn't grow. He never changed in age.
Oh, 27 forever.
You say that. His infantile body, then the next medical records are of a toddler, then of a child, and it's not... It was strange. All of the reports came back as a synthetic organism.
Ooh.
An android. But androids don't grow, they're built. They're constructed. Which means that somebody constructed a new body at different intervals of their life and then changed the medical records to fit. There was no Nimbus Diner. But all of his medical records flag up as human. After the fact. Exactly. The podcast is itself is pulling a base. That is very unusual. Why hide an entity at an orphanage and lie that they would be human? Why not just create an android? Why this whole rigmarole of this orphan-ness? But they were never human. And that power relay is because they had a huge power core.
Maybe worth trying to get the electroplating off this one. You might need it.
That's if he's even here.
When was the last time he was actively seen? Dr. Grimm even said he hadn't seen him in person, only spoken.
Maybe Rena might have spoken to him more recently.
No one has, Lady Sylph.
So with
No
the
one
arrest warrant, we
knows.
can find out if he's here.
say, bring it down.
Sure. Can you give us 10 minutes rest?
Yeah, at least.
Take those short rests. I mean, you can say that you're doing that during all of this as well.
Yeah.
Regain all my stamina.
Yes,
Thank you.
please, and thank you.
And I'm back up to 80.
Does anyone need any stimming?
I'm quite alright.
I'm not too bad for health.
Paizo boy?
Yes, please.
If I had to put a number on it, I'm 20 down.
20 down.
That's it.
George,
I'm feeling a good 20 down.
I've got enough to go round. I've got a good snack box selection. Everyone take a Mark 1. Have a Mark 1. Lady Sil?
Thank you.
I'm quite alright.
Lovely.
I believe some
Mark
crystals
1.
were picked up at some point.
Yeah, you grabbed some spell crystals, right?
Yeah.
Some spell gems.
Yeah.
I don't know who wrote them down.
But I don't know who wrote them down. I wasn't here at the time. It was,
Write down what's one?
the spell crystals.
If I'm being completely honest with you.
I spent 10 minutes walking around looking for these spell crystals. If
Somebody's
you want
got
to
'em.
bring them down.
Nice.
Four level 2 gems, 1 level 3 gem.
That was it, and I said you could choose the spells on the
We
wheel.
got to choose what spells.
Yeah, there you go.
Hot diggity shit.
We, however, will need to leave this floor and see Rena first, which means heading back out to Checkpoint Alpha.
Sure. Bruce and Alex, is there something you want to look for first before we do?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Lotep and saying goodbye, if you don't mind.
Of course, go
By
for a
all
buddy.
means.
And you guys can take your time to make your way round. Roos sort of leads the way with Lotep, and you guys kind of hang back and let them do their thing. And there is actually a handout here for Alex, but he's not here. As luckily I have it written down as well.
The 80 synth mics just banging.
It's nice to have something happier for a change, because it's been like 3 weeks of like. You eventually get to Checkpoint Alpha. Obviously, you were at Checkpoint Omega for coming into here, and Roos stops about like 15 foot away from where the body is. Sort of like turns to to Alex, and is like, "This is where Sporrid is. I understand if you don't want it, but it's a hard look. No, I want to say goodbye." And she like moves forwards, and the body's pretty mangled. It's like up against like the door, and it's like crushed into the corner. You can see there was like loads of people here, and from what Roos has described, it was not a soft ending. And there's like a moment where you can see like she goes to like brush this like half frozen hair, and then decides not to because maybe the sight of the lever's not great. She like just holds her hand over this like frozen hand for a moment. And you see there's like antennas of the starting to like twitch. And then she like looks down, picks something up. A small box. So it walks back over towards Bruce. And how close are you guys?
A respectful distance, but probably still around.
If there was a grid of 5 feet, what's a respectful distance?
I'd say like 20, 30 foot.
Yeah.
You can all give perception checks then. This is auditory.
$32.
24.
15.
31 for Bear and 21 for Pez.
What'd you do? That's why I'm joining, mate! That's why I'm joining, mate! That's why I'm joining, mate! All my fucking TikTok at the moment, I swear to God. It's like, yeah, call the police! Oh, that's why I'm joining! Fucking hell, suck off.
Bear's doing this thing that like all dogs do. It follows whoever's in front. It's like, hi.
It's got your name on it, Ruth. And it's just like you hear that, and then you see it's like a small gift box. And Ruth just takes it, reads a note that's on it. Let's go get a drink, eh? He just kind of puts it in his pocket, his armour. He picks up the body of Latex. It's pretty mangled. It's not a pretty picture. Like picking up liquid. In a sec.
He's frozen.
Kinda.
That's the only thing holding it together.
Yeah. He's like
Lashanta slushy.
like a bin bag filled with slushy.
Oh no!
Oh, send that to Soulfire.
Crit Wars, guys.
Best description. There we go.
As you guys, I imagine, begin making your way back to checkpoint Omega.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, you bang on the door and you send comms, and the door is unwelded again.
Hello.
Rena is like, you know, does a few like basic comm message like, checking it's you.
It is us.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Give him a camera skateboard.
Give me a diplomacy check anyway.
Okay.
I'll give her a sense of motive.
That's a billion.
I haven't rolled tonight. I don't want to roll
It's very
something.
high now.
5.
True.
But she's got a million on a sense.
37.
Fuck yeah.
And I assume you're telling the truth and this is a diplomacy
Oh
check.
yeah.
Please, it's cold in here. Let us through.
And you see that the door is unwelded, and as it opens and you have come back through the contamination, through one of those checkpoint turrets again to the other side, you see this, you know, quite a lot of defense team members there, like fucking guns on.
Yes.
And you see Rena with this same kind of staff on her back. She lets go of it and
We'll contain Rena.
thank you very much.
Disposed of.
Thoroughly.
Doctor was found. He is long gone.
Oh, I imagine everybody on that floor is dead.
Everyone
very, very
is
dead.
exceptionally
Very
dead.
dead. Even more dead now.
We would like to chat privately if possible.
So he looks around the stairwell.
Stairwells are great for privacy.
Yes, but there are a lot of people here. Very well. You see Felena looks at you, just like, we're going to head off.
Yes. Thank you for your help.
Anytime! That was a good scrap.
Indeed. Till next time.
Rena cocks her head, and you just watch as Barrog steps up onto the banister and just drops.
Yep.
Like, this is 180 floors up. He just... And you watch, he's like, see you soon! And he literally steps off. Felena smiles in this high elf form. Yeah. Well, let me know when you're done here. Bruce is like, I'll see him out. And he kind of like, it's like, oh, we flying? And just like steps off. And then
He's got to go relieve the nanny.
Oh, yes.
Felena, yeah, she also turns around, steps back off the ledge, and just plummets.
She's just made for you, isn't she?
God, she's good.
I heard that.
I didn't hear that.
My legs.
With that, Rena is like, somewhere private. The building is relatively empty.
This ship.
We don't need to go far, really.
Well,
Perhaps you could go back
If
to
anyone
the
knows
rooms.
somewhere private, it's...
I mean, we
It's
could literally
constant
step
time.
into my office or
Indeed.
my
Yes.
and secure the floor. She says to the defense teams, you watch them just start piling into the floor 184 through checkpoint Omega. Checkpoint Alpha, keep it secured. Wait for Bravo teams and Delta teams to finish their sweeps. And with me then, I guess. And she enters the elevator, and the four of you, including Investigator Jack Daw,
So good.
follows.
What about Mallow?
Malab will go with Roos. But she doesn't jump.
Wait for me!
Yeah, she's just like, and you see that Jack is like, go be with Roos and your sister. You've earned it. Dismissed. Hammered.
Oh,
And
He's so smooth now.
Yeah.
she heads down the stairs. And with that, we're going to take a 10-minute break.
Yeah.
We'll see you in 10 minutes. Stick around. And here we are.
I'm just here standing up.
just here.
This is how it's going to be for now.
Welcome to Jack Samar. Been washing his hands.
Obviously,
Moisturize
Right,
Neat
Cassandra.
Doctor Who reference, I like it.
Big law drop.
Big old
Very
law drop.
big law drop, yeah.
Nice, good stuff. Sexy law drop.
Followed by a Roos drop.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about
Drop.
the no qual,
Brilliant.
and we've just found that it
Drop.
is 500 credits value per one bulk of no qual. There is 15 bulk worth of no qual on Neraphyra, which you have absolutely ravaged and taken with you. I'm just going to find Roos's character sheet because you guys were like, let's give it to him.
And
We could be like, Alex, can you help? Can you just log this to the ship?
Because if you are taking it with you, or if anybody's carrying it, guess what? It needs to be added to your character sheet.
Yeah, because it's
I ain't
big.
carrying shit.
Because you're at capacity.
Full.
Yeah, you are
I don't
at
know if I
capacity.
can-
Any more and I'm going to be moving so slow.
Half
I can
speed.
probably do it.
Just waiting for mine to log in on Roos.
I can carry 2.
In total? Or?
Then you might also be able to leave stuff here and pick it up.
That's
Yay!
I'm going to scrape
I'm
it
just
all.
getting reconstituted into something else.
Just get the ship to back up to the tower.
This vehicle is reversing.
It's Dave driving, not G33 now.
Oh shit, hey, oh no, you put Steve back in, didn't you?
We did, yeah. Boom. I can carry it. I've got room to
50
carry a
point
bulk.
turn.
A bulk.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'm not taking any more of that. I'm so little.
I can carry 2 or 3. I think.
Oh, Roos can take 4.
I can take 1.
Depends if Ryan and Felina I would go via my ship. Out my ship?
If you asked me to.
Oh, come on!
I mean,
Fuck me.
technically, I think it is Kaz and TJ's. Because we
Well,
remember
yeah,
this from the original.
You are the
scavenge.
captain, though.
No, but the captain is just a position. We, as a collective.
Hot and fresh up the kitchen.
Between Felina and Rag, they actually can carry the rest of it.
Sweet.
So you could, we could retcon and say that you've asked them to take it, and then they all just step off the edge of this thing.
They get down quicker.
Yeah.
They are all within it with their fly speeds.
So delicate.
I'm just trying to make noise.
So, not a problem there. And obviously, just for people listening, at the end of the Neraphyra battle last week, that was actually a ding-ding level up.
Ding, 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 ding.
We have a winner.
Which was level 8. And I think maybe we'll go through more of it in the drift debrief, because that's actually what we were probably going to talk about to begin with actually today, was the level 8 level up, but that sounds like a drift debrief. Chat. As the guys leveled up to level 8 with the end of that fight, which I know is quite quick succession from level 7, but again that was a massive undertaking, one of the milestones in this campaign. You guys' brain doing alright?
Oh, it's firing on all cylinders.
Yeah,
try my best.
been a lot from campaign previous.
You're doing alright?
You smell toast, mate.
My lip would not move. That was a perfect example of my dyspraxia going. My lips just like grew like a snail's eye.
All right, Adam Sandler.
And I just couldn't get the words out. So that just turned into. So a lot of law coming in from.
Laurel. It's a lot of law.
It's a lot of law coming in from obviously pre-Ep 1.
Yeah.
Obviously, it has been affected
Wild.
by Alex just coming into the campaign and things happening, but obviously that's the nature of lore in a campaign. But the majority of that has been a big one that I've been waiting to let loose, and a lot of today was spent making sure I'd written that properly and like had like everything like all my ducks in a farm. And I just love saying things wrong. Yeah. So I guess we should probably jump into part 2.
Let's do it.
This episode as play.
And play.
Good. We'll find his place. Do. Just making sure I haven't missed anything here. Okay. Eventually, you enter a lift, very similar lift to one that you've been in several times before for, I was about to say Calyx and for TJ, many times, but Calyx isn't here, and TJ
Quite
and
chunky at the moment.
Kaz are actually probably the only two now that have been up and down these elevators a few times.
Old hats at this elevator game.
Oh, yeah.
Rena stands around with you as Detective Jack Daw speaks up first. As we're heading to, you see her eyebrow raise
Yeah. Yep.
to your office, Miss Constantine. I must inform you that I am not DCI Gene Poach of Internal Affairs. I am, in fact, Investigator Jack Daw of the Stewards. And I have been working some time on this case, and I do have an arrest warrant for Professor Nimbus Dine. There is a moment where Rena takes that information in. Very well. I'm not allowed to stand in your way, nor am I within my jurisdiction to do so. You should find him up in his penthouse through the boardroom. You will need access. I presume you still have access.
Yep.
Then I need not stand in your way or do anything. Does this conversation require anything more than this, or are we still to talk in my office?
But we're still in the elevator. Isn't it?
Yeah.
I think just to clarify a few points, Rena, would be helpful to speak briefly in your office, if that's all right.
Very well. And you watch as the floor numbers keep going up. I think she's on the highest.
It's like 200 and something, wasn't it?
God, double check.
220?
It's definitely 2 something.
Yeah. Where are you? Could do it every time. It's the law.
It's the law.
Breaking the law. Breaking the law.
Absolutely. Breaking the law.
Come on.
Yeah, big game.
I could have swore I had this sheet open.
Excuse me.
Oh, this could go so badly.
Yeah, yeah, it could.
For some reason, I've lost this floor.
Mystery
It doesn't
floor.
exist. That would be security.
There it is. Under structure. $220. And then you have to go through to, you know what? I will give you a question.
Yay!
Well remembered.
Because that was well remembered.
Thank you. As well, look at me go.
Proud. It's my line. You head to floor 220 where the elevator opens up into the dedicated space for the militia of Dynatech Industries, this private security firm within the company that acts as both defense teams, security for exploration missions, and also for internal security. You head through these same corridors where there is this rooms of like tactical mapping, and also you just see like command rooms and stuff. It's quite quiet, and it seems that a majority of them are either now downstairs dealing with things or securing the building, and there are only the odd commander also in here. Nobody takes note. A few people maybe are like, Lady Constantine, and that's about it. You were taken to this secondary elevator on the other side of the floor, which is directly down the corridor. About maybe 150 foot straight shoot to the next one. As you get into the elevator, and it takes you up to floor 228. The doors and open, and her office is an affluent ode to a dragon's horde on Triaxis. These, minus the gaudy gold, but definitely with their own war tribe and battle report kind of homages to her dragon-kin nature, this dragon blood humanoid that she is. We see different staffs and staves all over the wall and this gold filigree, and she comes back round to the other side of this really ornate wooden desk that has all of these technological screens fitted into it. She sits down. The last time you were here, you were handing over the body of G33. But the table is empty. She takes this wicked-looking stave from her back and puts it on the wall behind her. Please, indulge me.
I know we've spoken previously about our shared interest in finding the board.
Yes.
Obviously, what's about to transpire could potentially change a lot of things very quickly in Dynatech. On a personal note, I know that I'm not in a position to affect anything, but I would ask that should it look like things are going to the shredder, that you release my Hasoki brethren from the tower.
Ooh, give me a diplomacy check.
Okay, ooh. Straight back at you.
Didn't even see it coming. Too busy getting dice ready.
30.
30. It's not necessarily within my power to be able to grant that, but I would say that I will petition myself to lobby on the side of freedom.
Cool.
I think the cause that Mr. Rosluren has brought to the forefront of making sure that everything is done properly is, again, nothing but a front. Mr. Rosluren is all show. I'm a woman of doing, a woman of action. Let me know who's up there. Let me know who's on the board. You have my backing. You pretty much have it anyway, but I would like more leverage. And her eyes move from you to investigate a door. And I have one Deckard Prior in my custody.
Who said that?
This is the thing. He was quite instrumental, we found in our investigations, to this Kashorian issue that the company now faces. As I believe is Kimpire Zaki. Yes, we have a warrant for their arrest as well. Kimpire Zaki was last seen being called to the office of Nimbus Dine a few days ago.
If she ain't had a move. Oh, she fucked up.
As was Zano. Yes.
Yep.
They were both called up there, one after the other. I haven't seen them since.
No.
If Zano's still up there, we're fucked.
But they
think
might
they're not
not
even
Don't
alive
think they're
yet.
there anymore. I think they messed up too bad. Company image down the toilet. Poster boy gone.
Yeah.
Silk farm gone.
You failed.
No control of the staff
She
either.
raises a hand. Quite.
Mm.
I think that the board have certainly given me enough punishments over the years for small misdemeanors, falling out of line, let alone
Big old fuck ups.
big old fuck-ups.
Did Elijah not get called up for the Hostaki crisis? I mean,
Not
chomping
yet.
on your own. That's...
I hear that was kind of the original point of the of the creation of them, was to find him a food source.
Fucker! Little
That
bitch
is
boy.
rumour and conjecture. She looks to investigate into it. But rumour I hear in good company.
He hasn't really fucked up.
No. Little
And-
bitch boy.
He is very good at spinning a good tale.
That he is.
The reason he is head of marketing.
Yep.
Bastards.
Jack Dore.
Figured out what I had it.
Gotta admit, it was a really good line, Mr. Door.
Was. So we have your full cooperation with the stewards then, do we, Miss Constantine? Certainly. I'll hand over everything I know and help you with your investigations. I won't stand in the way of your search warrant, and I don't really think I'm asking for anything in return. You have helped me with my issues and problems here within the company and stuck to your end of the bargain.
Can I just because TJ kind of is inclined to believe it, but can I sense motive just to kind of get a read?
Very hard to believe that as well.
Well, it's a natural 1 for a 14, 15, 16, 17.
I mean, I don't even think I need to check what I rolled. 14 on the dice.
Yeah.
I mean, she is hard to gauge. This is a strong, battle-hardened warrior. She is in a position of power and one of the only positions within the company left with any kind of leverage or sway. I feel I've done nothing wrong and I have nothing to hide.
I appreciate that entirely.
As security, do you know if there's anything on higher levels we can expect?
Here's the thing that's interesting, I don't. It's one of the many curiosities I would like to know of those above me. All seems to end just before the boardroom.
I look at Pez and then look down at the hard drive.
Was there anything on the hard drive about above? Yeah.
She did hack into a lot of things, but we haven't gone
But
through
did she manage to
everything
get
she's
hack
gone
into the
through.
penthouse?
That would take some time to go through. You would be diving through terabytes of data.
Sure.
What's after a terabyte?
Petabyte.
Petabytes of data. What's after that?
I
Hezabyte.
don't even know.
Google bytes of
It probably
data.
is a Google buy.
Yeah, no,
We will, of course, feed back everything that we find.
I imagine you'll be recording it.
Yeah, do you want a live stream? Do you want to watch it in real time?
I wouldn't say no.
I'll set up a comms channel with her.
She just sits back in her chair. Well, I don't know what else to say, but good luck, really.
I think I have one more question.
Please, Mr.
If
Umbra.
it's not too personal.
What that thing do?
I've just met a woman, but I'm thinking about getting a unicorn.
My Riz,
She game, she cool.
my Riz is now off the charts.
If Dynatech is to go, as TJ says, down the shredder, what are your hopes in your position to be?
Well, I kind of feel Dynatech's too big to fail. We are a galactic-wide conglomerate.
But if it remains leaderless because Nimbus has been taken to prison,
Well, then somebody else needs to run the company.
and that's where I'm getting at. Is that something you are?
Well, And you see her like really sit back in the chair.
Careful now.
Ambition is a strong one with me. CEO.
Hashtag same.
I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it.
Of course.
All those competitors of mine all scrabbling like poultry at the feed. Which doesn't mean to look at you there. There is like a...
Teacher kind of like acknowledge it like, oh, fair play.
no one ever really looking forward. No one ever tactically thinking. Everyone just squabbling.
Can I then ask, what would your goals be?
I would like to see what position the company is in after any scandals. See if it needs a rebranding.
What would you do with it?
Oh, rebranding.
Well, I don't know yet. That's the thing. Have to see what's in the kitty, really.
Maybe assemble a board of your own, Rena.
It would be nice to know I'd have a trusted board of individuals I can trust. That's all pipe dreams, of course. Of course.
But you know what they say about pipes? They all lead to the central water reservation.
I hear that saying too. Look, we're all playing smiley games here, but yes, I would like a higher position. You know, there was nowhere else to go from here apart from being a member of the board, and that seems to not happen very often.
I just think it would be comforting to know that the nefarious goings-on that we have discovered is not continued. If you're in this for money, sure.
That is exactly what I'm in this for.
Money.
Yes.
Okay.
You know
A
what?
respectable
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Honestly, the more I hear, the more I like it.
So long as you don't go about it by exploiting those lives. And,
Yeah, you know, Mercury and the clothing.
If you're going to play the stock
silk
market,
farms.
if you want to do things like that, sure, whatever.
Let's see what the company.
Sure, whatever.
These are plans for when things are more transparent, right, Rena?
Exactly. Let's see what's hiding under the rug for now, shall we?
Fair enough. I just wanted to get a bit of a brief view on what things could come in the
Change the
future.
colour scheme totally. I mean, it really needs it. Good. Anyway, get it ahead.
Well, if there's nothing else, then I should go.
I'll be here.
Enjoy the show, Rena.
Oh, I intend to.
Why don't you sit back, have a lovely cup of tea,
Wonderful.
and enjoy this
Wonderful.
wonderful live stream from the crew of the Orion's Hope.
Shall we get going?
Yes.
Please. And what a good idea that is. So.
I'm going to watch Dynatech stocks when we hit the news.
I am not going to lie, that is
Drops.
exactly what I was going to do in the elevator.
Well,
You just look
Well.
over Pez because you can see straight over him. You're just watching him with a little screen watching the
Yeah.
stock flicker.
I am actually going, like, I was going to, literally was going to
These
say.
things always on their
Well, nothing's
Is-
public knowledge yet.
That's
No,
why.
Well, that's
No.
exactly why I'm going to contact my accountant, my friend in the stock market, and I'm going to say for the next, like, probably 2 solar days, bet against Dynatech stock. And then withdraw all funds after that.
Well, let's make them make an intelligence check.
Damn.
They're an investor, right? So they're going to have like.
They're an accountant.
They're an accountant, so this will be an intelligence check. They're probably a professional at it. But let's see.
My friend, they trust me.
Yeah, let's just see. So I'll roll a dice. That's their intelligence score.
D100.
It's a 7. Now let's make an intelligence check with a -1. Was that -2 or
at this
-7?
rate, I will just make the trade. I'm going to get up eToro.
Put it all in shoes!
Oh,
Do you know what sounds great? Just more silk.
So far, your investments have been fine. They're just an
I'm going to
advisor.
put my own trade then
That's fine.
against Dynatech stocks.
That's fine.
I'm going to wait for them to hit low, then buy.
See, I'm first betting against, and then we'll bet for.
As
Vanilla.
Silk's saying this, I'm taking down like notes.
Okay, so you
Pocket
can
money
make
in.
money in 2 ways.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm
you
assuming this is on the end of
bet
it.
Yeah.
against. You can bet against the markets,
Okay.
and you actually get a higher return, but you have to be far
So
quicker
Kaz
on it.
lazy.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm going to make an investment. And then when it swaps, I'm going to buy low for it to go up.
Yeah, you're learning.
ROI.
It's literally my class skill if I chose to trade.
Onto the elevator, up to the boardroom, swiping the key card and making a mess.
Also on the elevator before we go.
TJ's back in like marketing land.
Fuck me.
Green's here.
Before we get to the top floor, just in case we don't return, I'm also going to send a message to Lynch. And I'm going to send... I don't know how much time we have in the elevator, but I'm going to send as much information about Neraphyra and about the technology and about what she was using to Lynch.
We're doing last minute. Sylph, what is going to happen?
You're like 3 minutes in the lift to get to the top floor.
Cool. I'm just typing loads of stuff out to her then.
Well,
Oh, yeah. Mostly about the pillars and stuff.
Okay, cool. Yep, the message sent. You won't get anything back immediately.
Oh no, just a request to look into it. Find a name. Look up this technology, it's cool. Think you might like.
Phylactery, you say? Kill someone and put their soul inside an object?
Yeah.
Oh, right you are, Harry.
Yeah, about the sort of power surge crystal that she created with the drift rock. That's all.
Okay. You get into the same... Well, you have to leave Rena's office.
Bye,
Leave-
Rena.
Good luck. You head down through the defense team floors and you get into the main central elevator at Dynatech Industries. There is only one top button. Floor 238. You press the button for the boardroom and whoosh, begin heading your way up. And there is this like tense, silent 3 minutes where like you're sending information to Lynch, you see Investigator Doris
Put on another mustache.
just adjusting their clothes and stuff, and they're like,
Got another headband.
oh, I'm done with those, they're really itchy.
It's a really weird choice, man, and that's coming from someone who's wearing an Elvis cape.
You all believed it.
But it's back again. The headband.
And eventually, the lift slows. The door opens, and you are immediately faced with the image of an older gentleman who stands there, this white hair, clean shaven. They're wearing like a white, it's kind of semi-casual, semi-lab technician coat. They also have these like blue trousers, a waistcoat, and a white tie, and a sort of like dark grey shirt on. Welcome to the boardroom. I am Professor Nimbus Dine, or at least an image of him. How can I help you today? And you see this hologram.
Oh, Jack. You're the best.
Yeah. What'd you say to back you up?
We'd like to speak to the board and the
Nimbus
actual
Dine.
Professor Nimbus Dine. We do have an appointment.
Start recording.
I will double check with Professor Dine. Jack, we pulls out this data pad, and I am Investigator Door of the stewards, and I do have a warrant for Professor Dine's arrest. Very good. I will inform the Professor that you are here. If you wouldn't mind, and you see that there is, as you step out of the elevator. It's like a 15-foot corridor, and there is like a large set of double doors ahead of you, like these metallic doors. And then you can see that the corridor carries on to the right-hand side, where you see it kind of opens up into a room. The professor is quite old. I will have to make sure they're awake first. If you didn't mind waiting in the waiting room, and start walking towards the waiting area.
Where this little room is to
Yes.
the side.
Are there any other exits, entrance,
Yeah.
hidden traps?
Give me a perception check.
I'm looking as well.
Yeah.
23.
20.
Also a smutty 20.
23, 20. The podcast is James' mouth scrunched into his nose as he looked for numbers.
Cannot shrimp over that anymore.
29 and 30.
29 and 30. You see no traps, no secret doors. You just see this door, this double set of doors, and it literally says on the doors, boardroom. And then you just see this corridor that leads 25 foot to this opening. There's no door, it just opens up, and you can see maybe the corner of a small center table maybe, and you can see like a screen in the distance that has like an image of the same sort of image as like Professor Nimbus dying as this hologram you were looking at.
Guess we wait here, huh?
The Professor is quite old. You will appreciate that I must awaken him from any sleep.
How old exactly?
He is at least 130. For a human, that is quite some age. Professor... No, not Professor. Investigator Gore. It's like looking around. Please be quick. We don't have long. And they seem uncomfortable with waiting, but
Where is the hologram going now?
well, it's showing you to this waiting room. It's walking you there.
Might as well.
Yep, we'll go to the waiting room.
They lead you round the corner. The room opens up into a semi-hexagonal shape. It is immediately on your left. You can see there is a screen along the left wall. And you can see Dynatech Industries Future Perfect. Unlike many of the other screens you've seen here in this building. There's then like a corner sofa, and then as it comes round to that 45 degree, there is another sofa, and then there is a big screen that has a large image of Nimbus dying on it currently, and it's like huge TV kind of size. And then there's another sofa at the next 45 degrees, and then a small drinks machine next to that as well. Please, I will inform the Professor that you are here. And they gesture to the seats. You see Jack takes his coattails, moves them to one side, and sits down.
Have you sent off word to the steward shed?
Yes.
Have they replied?
Yes, the warrant is authorised.
How do you see this going down? Ideally. You take an old man in an elevator?
Get himself over would be great.
I mean, ideally.
The path of least resistance is hopefully the easiest course. Which is why I'm not willing to just be like, no, we're kicking the door in. It's only going to rile anybody who might be here. I will give them a few moments. And he turns to the hologram and is like, how long? Give me 5 minutes. And you watch the hologram turns around and just walks through the wall.
Timer for 5 minutes then.
What do you do?
Sweat.
Depends if we want to actually just be proactive
And follow.
or just wait. Because this could be the time where the hologram then tells Diane to say, they're here to arrest you. You want to go to the roof and get your helicopter?
Helicopter? What year do you think it is?
Give me a
now?
retrospective perception.
Like some fucking Die Hard shit, I don't know. And what was your perception check?
Yeah.
25.
So you know the building from seeing it from afar as you've been approaching it. The actual top of the building is like this big 45 degrees stained glass slope. There's no place for anything to land.
You might have an escape slide.
Ooh, fun.
Oh, 200 how many floors?
Exactly! Fireman's pole. Woo!
Just a death slide straight down the end. Well,
I mean, either way, it means that he will come out of his den. So even if we do have to chase.
Indeed.
Does there seem like there's anywhere around here for a board to be, like, even as holographic, like lasers, like
Probably those double doors.
emitters?
At least at the board
But-
Can we
on
see
the-
through those doors?
No, they were like a metal, and you can tell that they slide apart, but they were definitely closed. For a tidbit, I just think this was quite fun. As it travels through the wall, you watch as like the pixels all fall apart.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love that. Yes.
Yeah.
Do we want to have a little sneaky peek in the portal?
Yeah, it'd be quite good.
Why not?
Let's do it. Let's go.
send bearing.
Fuck that. We all want to go.
Okay.
Why don't I show you a map?
Oh, jeez.
Oh no.
Map doesn't mean combat.
Just means the map.
It just means a possibility.
Let's move the tentacle out of the way. Oh no.
It's
Potential.
You'll check your bag, you don't take it home stuff.
accidentally on purpose.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I slipped.
Oh, gracious.
The ridges. While Ian looks for a map, why don't you head on over to www.warriorprince3d.etsy.com, where you can find all sorts of amazing 3D printed things. Like this. We won't question it. No judgment here.
I love that you're showing something that's not a Warrior Prince 3D.
Is it not?
No.
Well, you can get something better than this
Nice. Keep going.
at www.warrior. Look how ridgy. But if you want one
High
even
detail.
bigger than this, Rich can do that. You know, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
Also much smoother because this is PLA and he has resin printers.
Use responsibly. To the stars for 10% off.
I don't think there was any responsible with
Well,
that.
but you can send in your own STLs and he will print them. It will
Oh my
on
fucking
request.
days. Okay.
Whee! Not a combat.
It's not combat.
Hashtag no combat.
A combat.
You're in exploration mode.
Open the doors. Oh, is that our little waiting area? That's
Yeah.
cute.
I made a good fucking map, by the way. It's fucking awesome. So, what I will do is I will just lift that up a little bit further so people on camera can see.
Oh, there's a nice little bit of greenery in the middle.
Yep.
Tasteful greenery.
Can you give me a perception check?
What, for the tasteful greenery?
Yep.
It's a bomb.
I feel like this would be
Don't make that face.
That's a 10 for tasteful greenery.
Give me a life science check, please.
God.
Oh,
26.
Ah, yeah. Malteser blue.
Jack the Minister Starfinder guys are over there if you want to grab them from the shelf.
I've waited.
So, you're in this room and you wait for like a minute and then you like start looking around and you're like, oh, so the table in the middle is actually, you know, it's like a flower bed. They're all dead, those flowers. Like all of them are like wilted and dried and
Should we just place you in?
Yeah, just put permanent.
they haven't been tended to for years. The soil is arid and dry. And you see that there should be like automated sprinklers and watering with it, but it's just never happened.
Terrible horticulture.
Gene.
Bastard.
Gene.
DCI, Gene.
I wonder how long he's been in his bed and nobody has come up here if it's so dead.
I don't know if there's a board. I think it's
That's
just
what I
him.
was going to check to see if stuff's got like a dust on it, if it's been kept or.
Yeah. I mean, he can always, I suppose, remote call the board if he doesn't want them in person here, but if he is a built individual, an android, he could just need
Has
himself.
Jean gone?
Gene!
YMCA.
Yeah, see
Is it
Jean.
not by your DM screen or anything?
Jean.
Rip
Where
Jean.
are you?
Where is Jean?
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that I use something else for Gene. That's sad.
Well, he doesn't have a pink ribbon anymore because it's not Jin, it's Jack.
Bless you.
Thank you.
It's pretty frustrating.
Well.
Well, put Asmodeus in for Jean.
You can have Chris Redfield from Resident Evil. That's really annoying. You would sit probably on this first one here.
Boardroom?
Going down to test the doors.
Yeah.
As we go through it, can I see if this place has been kept clean?
Oh, the door's locked first. Foley tonight's on point.
How thick do I think the walls are?
How many C's?
How many C4s do we need?
I mean, you're unsure, but I mean, most buildings and structures, it's relatively, within 5 feet.
5.
Oh no, the sound.
What?
Oh, what? Is the sound being off? Hello. Rip.
Commentalez.
Okay, so
Yeah, doesn't do anything.
no, but we're back on. I hear everything. Okay, for some reason the this had turned off. So, okay, as long as you've all heard everything, that's fantastic.
Chat says it's okay.
Okay, awesome. The other cameras must have picked it up,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yay.
You think that the walls are at least within 5 foot thickness.
What do you plan?
Phase through and see if there's a button to open the door the other side.
You say that as if it's normal.
Is there like any kind of
Like Homer Simpson through the wall.
any kind of like pad entry or
Yeah.
like into on this side? Or is it just
There is actually on the right hand side of the door. There is like a terminal.
okay?
Oh, you key card.
The key card doesn't go access all the way. It only took us up to.
I don't
Access all the way.
Hey. You can jack in. No, that was Ida. Hang on.
Have you tried it?
I don't know. Should I try the key card?
I'm just saying, if it's an all access key.
No, it's too late. I was going to see if I could take one of the data jacks out of the fire and
Boop, boop.
Okay.
but too late.
Key card doesn't work.
Nope. There you go.
It was worth a try,
Yep.
I'm just saying. Probably that does put. If you
Could give
phase
them
in,
the 5 minutes.
Still not here.
if you're phase in, you can phase out again. How long can you phase?
Or is it just not a phase?
It's not a phase,
not a
Mark.
phase.
Okay, well.
I do have enough to phase in and phase out. If I
The
say-
only thing my
spend that much.
concern, Lady Silk, is if you phase in and can't phase out, or if there's something in there that is untoward, you are on your own.
I can always come straight back out.
But what if you can't? Yeah, I think if we go in,
You
we go
can
in all
then-
together.
Tell you what,
Comms pad, keypad thing, then
just
give it a boop.
Slack
lock
it.
Try and hack it.
Cool. I'm going to plug my custom rig in and just see me put in a N64 controller.
I will help.
you get
Overlays.
Yeah.
when you interface, it gives it a personality, doesn't it?
I can choose if I give it an
Maybe
AI.
this one.
Don't give the
Not
keypad
this
a
one, Pez.
personality.
Leave it out, mate.
Well, mate, I see you trying to access the door. Oh, yeah, you're still there. Oh, yeah.
It's me, Jimmy Door Fingers.
It's Face Panel Frank!
You can give me a computer check to try and hack through the door if you'd like.
You've got help from us all.
If you, does.
Actually, I'm going to use my profession.
You get the help from Jack as well.
Yeah, so reduces the DC because GC by 5 because I'm using my video gamer. Come on, I rolled off 2. Oh, nat 20, so that's 39. And how many plus 2s?
2, 4, 6, 8.
Who do we appreciate as?
Well, I mean, it was a tier 5
That's a
computer on that lot, which is a 33. You know what I mean? So, I mean, what's the number?
So I got 39 plus 8, but minus 5 for the DC.
Which takes it down to 28. I mean, you absolutely. So what? God.
47.
47.
Thanks,
Is
Jack.
that the highest we've rolled on a check so far? Or is it 49 the highest? Either way,
Damn high.
that's really high. 47 rolled on a check. You plug in and you're like, it's a fucking door lock, mate. Just fucking. It pings green, and the doors begin to open.
That's oddly
Hers bitch.
Stealth way into room.
There's the
Look
board.
at those lovely colour-coded seats.
I will just, for the sake of the viewers, that way and that way, so hopefully they can see it a bit better. You guys open this door and move your way. Do you move your way inside?
Yeah. Hundo portal.
Just going to put you just beyond the threshold for now. As the boardroom sloped beneath a dramatic 45 degrees glass ceiling, its angular design aimed directly at the eye of Absalom Station and the vast starscape above it. Glimmering high-end districts lays out before this boardroom that is wrapped around the station's central spindle. From here, the eye glistens under the stars, a constant reminder of the power and position of having a building in this area of the station. A long stainless hollow table stretched out the length of the room. Give me a perception check, everyone. Oh, investigator doors is down there, and we're going to see that. And it's a cocker. Oh, 19. He did not get any upgrades, by the way. He is still a CR3 creature. Perception's high, though. Has a 32. He's good at some things.
Yeah.
32 for Investigator Jack Door.
33.
23.
31.
16, and for Bear, 14.
Okay. Pretty much all of you pick up on the heavy amount of dust. This hollow table stretched down the length of the room, untouched and coated in a fine layer of dust, as though no meeting has occurred here in months, maybe years. Despite the disuse, 9 identical chairs flank the table on either side, their polished synth leather skins dull in the low ambient light. Each is evenly spaced with geometric precision, giving the room a sterile, almost ritualistic symmetry. At the head of the table, a far more imposing chair, sat elevated slightly above the rest, sleek metal plating wrapped around its high back, embedded with touch-sensitive hollow panels and a spinal array of glowing control nodes. This is not just a seat of authority, it was a command throne designed to interface with everything from internal security systems to orbital comm arrays and the likes. At the far end of the table, just beneath the shadow of the angled ceiling, a massive wall screen dominates the room. Currently dormant, but capable of projecting everything from tactical overlays to interstellar conference feeds, and dust has gathered around its base and across its top, but the screen itself remains spotless. Maybe wiped by some automated servo still loyal to old protocols. Opposite the door you enter stands a circular force field entrance, pulsing with a low hum. It shimmers gently in the air, the only living motion in an otherwise suspended chamber. This is the only other door you see in this room. And for you guys down there, it's just here. You can't see it because of the camera angles. But for you guys, it looks like that.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't feel like we have time to just wait. This guy could be getting away right now.
It's a force field. It's you've seen an aperture like this in floor 184. You saw them with the security bolts. You saw them with some of the rooms in there. They had these like force field like layers instead of doors.
Best way to get through the door?
We try that chair. It seems connected to a lot of things.
Is this a terminal down this other side?
You just see this particular screen. You see the table itself. This is all window up here. It's sort of like angled it this way, if I'm being honest. You don't see other interfaces. It's quite a clinical room.
Is it possible to turn that on?
The screen?
Yeah.
We head over to the screen and turn it on. So we've got somebody dealing with the screen, somebody dealing with the door. You want to go to the chair?
Yeah.
I will help have.
Care someone. Come and help me, Jack.
Let's start with Sith. What do you want to do with this door?
Okay.
And you can see through the force field. It's like a...
Can I see anyone on the other side of it?
Give me a perception check.
Oh, that thing I'm great at.
Yeah.
23? Yes.
So you can see another corridor. You see that on the other side of it, maybe 40 foot away, is another force field aperture. There are two doors. Metal doors. A lot like the board doors, but singular, on the right-hand side. 23, you say. There are plaques on them, but you can't make them out from here.
Lightly touch the portal door and see how resistant it is to entering.
You definitely can't pass through it.
Okay.
It doesn't cause you any harm, but it is a definitive ray shield.
Okay.
Over here with the screen.
Yeah.
Just trying to turn it on.
Turn it on, see if there's anything to access on it.
Okay, give me a computer's check. You will have, so you can get the aid from Investigator Door. You do get the aid. It's a really low DC. It's just turning on a monitor.
It's another natural 1 for a 14.
Okay, with the aid as well, if you've got the +2 on
So
there.
15, 16.
Okay, I mean DC's like 10. You easily find that you just really have to touch the screen, and you can tell the screen is clean. Like the dust seems to be around the floor and across the top of it. You touch it, and the screen blinks on. It is that still image of Professor Nimbus Dunn.
Okay.
Just looking around the room. Well, so just stood there actually.
Is there
Like a still image.
anything else on? Is there kind of like files, or is it just an image?
It's just an image at the moment.
Do you guys want to try pressing buttons on that chair?
Yeah, we're looking into it.
Over at the chair, you see this like both of you give me a perception check to begin with.
33.
Damn, boy.
Liz has got 12, but Bear got natural 20 for a 33.
So the chairs are thick with dust. What you notice is that like all of the synth leather that is all over them, you'd expect to see like imprints of where people have sat on them, maybe like some worn, So like, they're brand new. They're just covered in dust.
Yep, never used.
Never used. You go to the chair and you think, okay, clearly it's designed to control. It's supposed to be designed to gain access to the entire company, and you start pressing buttons. Who does number 2 work for? Second chair.
I'm just very badly
15 tons of no-qual just lands on that chair.
I try and press buttons in a, hopefully, sort of, for things that might make common sense, rather than just going, oh, a big red button.
Yeah.
like twiddle the joystick.
And he's like, oh, this is clearly for activating the screen, or perhaps unlocking a door, like
Disabling a force field.
Yeah. So give me a computer check. Are you helping?
Aid,
So you can aid, yeah? You get the automatic aid, don't you?
Yeah. So that's 21.
21. I mean, the first thing you notice is that like there is like an on button, and that's never been pressed. And you turn it on, and it starts up, and you can tell that it's like
It's never been pressed.
because it starts up and it's like asking for like input data on everything. It's like it's not connected to anything.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Sure.
you spend a few moments and you kind of calibrate the seat, and it finds itself into the room automatically. And you can see there are controls. It's things like door locks, hollow table to turn on, and they're all like blank, empty folders within it for things like meetings and like generic computer setup stuff.
If there's something for door locks, we'll try and bring down the force field.
That's another computer check.
Yeah.
Christ. 23 with you.
Takes a little time as the rest of you kind of going around the room, but eventually, Kaz, you're like, "Oh, I think I've got this," and you think you can deactivate the force field at the other side of the room.
If there's like 2 other buttons similar to that, there's 2 more fields.
Probably. Well, I can get this one down for sure. But this, for some reason, has never ever been used. So I don't know how they're controlling doors. If they've ever controlled
If they're an
doors.
SRO, they probably don't need to manually do it.
Well, it's holograms, so they can just go through all of them.
Fake boardroom.
It's all a facade.
Just controlling it from the middle.
Get the force field down.
Force field goes down. Still, you see that this just peters out of existence. The lights that are creating it around just disperse. And yeah, you can see this open corridor in front of you. Investigating door is like, good work. Investigating the door.
Down corridor. Stealthily.
Stealth check, please.
I don't want to.
I'll happily just do that because you will actually see.
Sorry, it's my bad.
Sorry. It's fine.
Get your fork.
I'm just going to open that.
Oh no.
That can just go on top of there. Stealth check.
It's an 11.
11.
That's not that great.
I think
rolling
the
for shit tonight.
emptiness here. You hear the echo of everyone's footprints, and as you like move away, and you definitely like as the echo is picked up. Nothing seems to happen in that moment, but you move down into the corridor. Give me a perception check, please. What's everybody else doing?
Following down the corridor, I assume.
Were there door locks for the other force fields?
Computer check.
26.
Okay, so as you move into this corridor here, you see this first one here, and it says mapping room. Second one.
That's a different character.
I was just thinking that, like, a little
Second one
bubble,
says
love it.
cybernetics and augmentation lab.
Oh,
I see.
As I say,
26 with an aid.
There is most definitely another control that will drop that second force field.
force field.
Yeah.
Just cast kind
But
of
the other 2 doors.
Oh yeah, and
Mapping?
those doors. They
Just innocent doors.
I can bring down the other force field, but
in-
only when we're ready.
The first innocent door.
Locked.
Sylph is off. Cass, any other doors you can get?
Just the force field, I think, from here.
Okay.
What did you roll?
26 with you.
You can release the locks on both those doors.
Okay. No, don't worry, just found it.
Okay.
Found the
You go to press it, dunk, she's like, I found it! And the door is actually
different category from mechanical doors.
press the button and it will slide open.
Okay. Opening the first one.
Perception check,
I
please.
think we should go to that one last. Can I come in with Sylph and help with that?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Is that perception?
Yeah.
Absolute shit.
Roll the other way this
Okay,
time.
that's better.
I think I should just roll that
roll it
one.
that way. Trust the difference.
Are you helping or are you rolling your own?
Running my own.
Okay, what did you roll?
9.
31.
Okay, so the first thing you see in here again is a thick layer of dust, and you disturb that when you come in, which is why you notice it. For you at 31, you see an exquisite room for a cartographer. There are screens that are currently off all around the room. There is a hollow table in the center towards the back of the room that you've seen in the exploration briefing room down in the lobby. I can't remember if you went with Calyx. I think it was actually Skelkin that went. Yeah. But there is like one of these mapping tables, and everything in here is like just so clinical and in its place. There's also a table immediately to your right, which looks like another kind of cartographer's table or a workstation.
Going to turn one of them on.
What's the time?
Okay, so what have we got? We've got a cartographer's table, we've got a computer.
So all across this wall, what you can't see, there are like 3 massive screens. There's another one here. There's not one there. There should be a big. Oh, there is one there, is there?
Yeah.
And there's one. The whole room is screens. If Caleb's here, it'd be a lot like their office, but a bit more upmarket.
There is one of these boy would love this.
Tables in the middle, and there is another workstation, which is more like an annotator's table or a somebody who works doing their paperwork.
I mean, that one looks right up my alley.
Yeah, maybe that's what you noticed.
Yeah. This is what I was literally made to do.
Give me a computers check.
Okay.
And you're going to try and turn them on, yeah?
I'll go for the centre table.
Yeah, give me a
see
computers check.
what the last thing that has been accessed or looked up is. 26.
16.
For you, TJ, I think that you're like, okay, it's like a digital writing desk. Cool. You turn it on and there's nothing there.
Boring.
Yeah, it's very boring. There's no notes, there's nothing being worked on. You go over and turn on the holodesk and it starts its boot up like it's never been turned on before. There's no map, there's nothing that's been worked on. It is quite literally a brand new holo table. Give me a computers check again, please.
I'm going to do what you say. Roll the other
Roll
way.
the other way. Don't tell my advice.
17.
Brand new computers table.
Can I, just while we're here, look up Acton, just to see if there's any notes around it?
I mean, you would have to calibrate the tables.
I mean, just in case,
You would have to begin calibrating the table, and it would take some time.
It's completely unused.
It's never been turned on before, is what you gauge from that.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe into a system. You're right, we don't have time. We don't know when this time is.
You can certainly try. You can give me
I have a
computers
feeling
check,
I
but
might know where he is.
He's not here.
If he is here, or if any part of him is here, it's most likely going to be inside Cybernetics. But we should probably get through that other force field one first, I think. And then... Thank you, guys!
feel free to take the cybernetics.
Should we
It's blue tacked down. Sorry, the actual two
Yeah,
took the
yeah,
force field
this
out.
one.
Yeah.
There you go. Point towards you. And yeah. And the force field goes off, and are you going into the cybernetics lab as well? Feel free to move your miniatures now that down your end.
has his cybernetics and just like, what?
Is this one here the cybernetics?
No, it's actually this one here.
Yeah,
I just,
so that's kind of what TJ's
So
kind
you
of
want to
going to
go
say.
into
I think
cybernetics?
no. I think we should look at this area first,
Oh, okay.
and then cybernetics. If everyone, or we all go into cybernetics now, but I'm just wondering if we do a clear sweep just to ascertain
We
where
want to
we're
lay
at.
the land.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think we want to find when Nicholas is, if he's here as soon as possible.
Okay, but do we want to get some preparedness first? We're still in a time frame. A quick sweep.
well, you say that, and Investigator Dora's like, we are well past the 5-minute mark.
Yeah.
Fine, back in cybernetics then. Let's go.
All right.
Prior to that, I want to there's the mechanic feat where essentially I can prepare my armour, so I get the +1 +1 EAC and 2 KAC.
Yeah.
So you
Second
can
plus
see-
boost.
Yeah.
I'm going to unlock the final door.
Yeah.
And then get out of the chair and make our way in money.
Should we split between the rooms?
Absolutely not.
Yes, you should.
No.
Cover all round.
No. What happens every time we split the party?
I've never been in the party long enough to
There we go.
Part of this, are we officially leveled up as in we gain our abilities from the
You've
level
got your level up abilities,
Yeah.
but obviously the thing I spoke to you about
No, no,
separately, that's not in place,
That's
which is
fine.
why I kind of messaged you. So I was like,
that's fine.
just so you don't like walk into a room with a new drone. Let's narratively keep the upgrades and stuff.
That's,
You do get your ability upgrades and stuff like that.
So you, as it comes, you just see Bear just go back onto his backpack, and you just see the kind of meld around Pez. As Pez starts falling past
Where are you
you,
going, Pez?
as close as I can.
Jack will take the circular door down the other end.
Yeah. Cool.
And you're going into cybernetics, yeah?
Yeah.
Take the top off the... Thank you very much. You stepping through?
Yep.
Yeah.
Place ourselves.
I can't reach.
You will start piling into the room.
The claw!
You step foot into the room, and once more you find like a heavy layer of dust over the floor, over the first surfaces that you happen into. You see these screens all around the room. You see work tables and beds and benches. Everything in it's like, I mean, you can give me a D20, you may add your intelligence and your key ability score modifier because you are literally trained in cybernetics. You can give me an engineering and computing check. I will give you a circumstance bonus of 2 to this.
Thanks.
So that's 20.
20 total.
Naughty 20.
Naughty 20.
Do you say +2 for
Yeah.
circumstances? Right? Oh, 40.
I think for you, maybe you're taken back for a second. Still at 20, you still notice that everything in here is in its default position. For you, this place has never been touched. There is still, even on like the auto arms of the central table, which would do all the fine work for cybernetics, there's still like plastic wrap on parts of it. The computer screens are all blank around the room. You see that, like, again, the big monitor has like this. The screen is like clear, but there's like dust across the top of it and across the floor.
I think Kaz comes in and sort of just looks at a few things underneath the table, just having a look at things. No, this is not right.
No.
And he will book it to the other room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TJ's hot on heels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, going again?
Yeah.
The claw.
Ah.
Not too bothered about distance or anything for this one, so please do just stop placing yourselves in the room so I know where you are.
Yeah.
Mark some entropy.
What?
Fuck off again.
Fuck that shit on that.
This one you walk into and it's a clear laboratory setup of similar to what you've seen with like bioengineering and turning. Essentially, it's a class as biohacking, like where you change the DNA of something into something else. And yeah, basically, and mechanically, there's like a class called biohacking. You've seen that somebody in the company does that as well. And, it's another way of getting augmentations as well. It's not just cybernetics or magic. You can also get the bio augmentations and necrographs and stuff. And you like look around. Everybody, give me a perception check, please.
When? $35. Yes.
29.
Natural 20 for a 33.
The place is mostly in its de facto position again. But for those of you over a 20, the first two tubes are a different colour to the last one, and they are... It's like a... I know that they're white and green on there, but you'd have to imagine they're white with like a clear tube. The last one's completely empty, there's no liquid inside or anything like that. And the first two have this like brownish liquid just sat inside it. It's like full to the top.
Is it like opaque, like you can't see if there's anything else in it?
Yeah, please go and make a perception check.
I will approach the first canister.
Yeah.
31.
Yeah, so it is definitely opaque, but that's because this is made up of different components that have like come together. Give me a life science or medicine check, please.
27 medicine.
You've been around enough gore in your life to know blood when you see it. It's past the point of just being blood. It seems heavily burnt and mixed with another substance. But then you see like little bits of like maybe clots or fizzling objects that just seem to gently move around in it. But it is mostly opaque.
Is this like a storage thing here?
Going down to have a look.
Yeah.
Perception check is a very low DC. You die.
21.
An elevator.
Elevator! Ooh, elevator! It's an elevator!
Has it been used?
Give me a perception check.
Inspect for dust!
Essentially, yeah.
31.
Very dusty.
No!
I knew there was a roof.
The
You see a helicopter take off.
Damn you!
Time!
you've been told in the penthouse.
Do we need to go up?
Jack is like, well, it would make sense if the penthouse.
I've
is
already
above
called the
floor.
elevator.
The door is already open. Anybody else doing anything else in here?
What is this?
Yeah.
It's a lab technician's workstation. This is where somebody could process everything from toxins to serums to anything you could imagine working within biochemistry. It's very much the kind of thing that you would find on a ship, the kind of thing that you'd find within major labs. It's just a very up-to-date. Well, give me a life science, engineering, medicine, or... No, they're the only checks. Or computers check.
Just self.
No, Pez did say he was coming.
Yeah, you can have a look. I mean, you're currently investigating this tube.
Swear to God. I'm going to do 13 on life science.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
34 in engineering.
I swear every chest
So-
except
You start looking at life science and like, yeah, this all checks out for what I know. I'm not really sure what we're looking at here. And Ped, you're like, something's not right here. Everything seems pristine and like it's unused. And you start like, I mean, you're a kid into like video games and stuff like that, and you're like, this isn't the latest gear. I think this is like 50 years old at least.
Hanging around for ages, going dust.
Oh, chocolate.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Is it
Some
worth
glucose
investigating the computers?
What a boy, mate.
7 Cs. Or investigating the computers in front of these tubes while we wait for the elevator.
Well, the elevator's already there.
It's here, and we're on a time crunch.
I want to find out, like, this liquid that's in the tube, it looks like it's still kind of reacting with itself, whatever, like...
Ever so slightly. Like little bits of stuff are kind of like pitting away.
if we're taking a second to kind of look at these things, can I quickly run over here and have a look at this last tube?
Yeah.
See like any differences? Like, was there something in here?
Give me a perception check, and then you can give me a.
Oh, that travel. 21 on perception.
Yeah, you can give me a life science, engineering, computing. Your call.
I'm going to try and work the computer out
Yeah.
Yep.
while I'm and just see,
I'm gonna
even if
do
it's got nothing on it,
computers.
use it to try and identify what's in the tube.
Can I give you a bonus as I did say I was
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
29
Fuck
computers.
me. Fuck me. That's a cocker
That
as
is a
well.
cocker, I can see it from here. I love when you get your podcast listeners go to about 3 hours into the podcast and watch Jack roll that 3 times and then shake his fist. Like, oh, I got it!
So
Podcast listeners, what
a 37 with a lovely aid of sylph. A wonderful aid of sylph.
Wonderful. All the jackets off.
Oh.
Oh.
No!
I would like to get to a certain point. It's probably not going to take that long.
That's right. We're in it.
Yeah.
29. 29? Unused. Untouched.
Yeah.
Like, the inside of it is sterile and clear of dust. Nothing has ever opened this pod.
Wicked.
Such a waste of money.
Yeah, it is. Keep that in mind. As you bring up the computer. Now, the computer itself has been activated. But there is a thick layer of dust over everything. Somebody has filled that with acid and melted someone.
And there's been 2 people that have come up. Zano.
And
Empire. Fucking set, didn't I?
Wait.
We were in fucking trouble.
yeah, so there's 2 of them that are brown, or 2 of them that are filled.
And you get, this is acid, and the blood has like congealed, but it's still burning away. And you can see like little bits of bone, or as you move to the second one, little chitinous bits of carapace.
Oh no.
Just
Yeah.
Ooh.
Into the elevator!
Yeah.
Is anyone resistant to acid?
Nope.
No.
Or electricity.
Can I look at the computer, or has it still got like the film over it?
But it has been turned on. This particular one and the one next to it have been used. What's your computer score? And what's your computer score? What's everyone's computer score? Everybody give me a computer score!
And for podcast listeners that couldn't get that, what's your computer score?
Go on the table, share.
No, James.
17.
13.
16.
Yeah, they've been accessed remotely.
Cool. I think we've got to go, guys.
The only way is up.
Yeah.
Baby.
Everyone pile in that really tiny elevator.
Ooh, cozy.
That's the thing. It is a small elevator.
Oh god, are we gonna have to go up one by fucking one?
You can get 4 people in there.
Oh, Jesus.
Jack is like,
Are you?
I should probably go first with the arrest warrant.
Sure. Yeah. Maybe not on your
2
completely
people
on your own.
stay down, not 1 person on their
Mhm.
own.
Wait, down here in Compiler's data, there's clearly been...
I mean, you could send Bear with them. Bear would fit in the elevator above
Just
people.
hover above the reds.
Mm.
Because you can keep an eye on us and then you can
Yeah,
come up
you
on
just
us.
see it, his armour kind of just like meld off and just Bear forms and just takes flight.
So, in the elevator. Bear. Can I have Jack, please?
Who else is staying there?
3 people up that can go up still.
Stay with us.
What?
Would you like me to stay?
Yes, please, you can tell me more about insider trading.
Or you can come
And so our glorious rivalry began. Oh, I got mega
come up
minded.
as soon as you're able.
Anyway, we've got room for 4, right?
We've got room for 4.
Jack, that's 3.
I
You
don't
want
think
someone
it's
there.
best to keep someone separate.
Yes, it is.
So
But I am small, would I count as a whole person?
don't look.
I could put him on my
Hey,
shoulder.
we're just gonna have a chat about what it is to be a smaller race, okay?
Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything that says you guys can occupy the same
No,
space.
it's
Yeah, that's,
not.
I didn't know if there was a...
As on shoulders.
If myself as and investigator door,
You know what? There is enough height in there that you could do that.
You said Bear can fly. If they can fit in, Bear just molds back and I can fly.
There you go. Sorted. Right, everyone get into the
I don't know what the fucking
elevator.
problem was. Let's get in.
I didn't know about that. And I didn't
Yes,
think
but
about
you bury them
putting them on your shoulders. I'm like, actually, although you can only stand tall creatures, yeah, if you can get the height, yeah, you could.
Right, let's get in. Let's go.
Yeah.
Sorry for slowing you down there, guys.
While we're in the elevator, I would like to cast Enhanced Weapon. I am not trusting that something is of the other side.
Gene drops a battery out of it. Jack drops a battery out of his weapon and
Supercharged weapon,
re-puts one in.
I'm going to activate 2 arrays. My sheath array.
Free cheese stickers.
Exactly.
You
Goodbye.
guys remove your minis from the board, please.
And then I will also draw my sword.
Not
a euphemism.
Correct.
Okay. We good?
We're good.
Okay, we good.
I mean, actually, if we have enough
the
time...
microphone,
No.
just like testing.
Feedback.
Oh, we're caught in a trap, but hopefully not.
I would actually like to also empower weapon if we have an entire one round in the elevator.
I'd like to just go invisible.
You have 6 seconds in the elevator.
There we go.
We get rid of the old map? Or?
Nope.
Oh,
Okay.
right. How do you want me to hold one end and put it down?
Just positioning. Where are you?
Right, let's go in there.
Where's Bear's mobs? There it is.
This doesn't look anywhere near as critical.
Just got to make do with what I got you. Okay. You guys, in this moment, there's like this 6 seconds as the elevator goes up. Jack reloads. Doesn't feel like we're walking into anything good.
No.
Nope.
Eyes on the prize.
Swords out.
You stab TJ in the back of the head.
Father.
You were so close!
That's too brute.
Hez has a heart attack. Silk is the only one to survive.
I just phase out.
As the door
Fall out.
to the elevator opens, who steps out first?
Go on, Jack.
Yeah, he like,
Yeah.
we've got a warrant. If you say that, he's like, Professor Dine, this is investigated door of the stewards. We have a warrant for your arrest.
He stumbles the moment he's been leading up to it. We've had an arrest.
You're considering after more.
We just shut the door.
He's just got so used to Gene.
I will take Mr. Door into this room, please. Anybody else?
Where do we come out? Where do we come out?
out.
This is the elevator.
Okay.
Yeah,
Kaz, where you going?
I'm following pretty close behind.
I will follow the opposing wall then.
I'll go other side of Mr. Door.
You step foot
I'd probably just be behind you.
into the penthouse. And a kitchenette. You see this raised table in the center of the room, this like island, and you can see that over to the far left-hand side when you come in, there is a cooking area. Again, there's quite a lot of dust on everything, but the place is very exquisite. It is clinical in its making, but you can see that it was designed to be a homely place for someone to live and work within the building. A CEO to work and live within this building. You see over to the far right-hand side of the room a singular door and a cubicle like toilet shower. You see nothing else.
Sweeping clear. Let's make room by room.
Yeah.
I'll approach the first door next to that toilet. Shower.
Wet room.
Yeah.
That one, that's the wet room.
Head over here and Mr. Door will follow to the door. As you get there, you can see that it leads to.
Altogether, yeah.
Well, you don't know yet, but there is a small access panel next to it.
I'll try it. Is it immediately locked?
Immediately opens. You're faced with a corridor
Another door.
that literally leads round to another door. It is a small connecting corridor. There's a screen on the wall, but it just has Dynatech Industries written on it. Nothing else of note. Jack moves his way up. Jack, what would you like to do? You move it up as well?
Yes.
Another door, and investigator door looks at you, Jack.
This is so fucking confusing. Jesus Christ.
Like, to the rest of you,
I will try again.
door opens.
Okay.
No locks.
Stay close.
Yep. We're right behind you.
Just above you, like this.
Which order do you want to go behind Kaz, or shall I?
Where's easier for you to get range?
Probably slightly more ahead, because
Okay,
a
go for
lot
it.
of my spells are
Go for
slightly
it.
shorter range.
And then myself and Pez.
Yeah. You're faced with yet another small
Oh my
corridor.
God, these doors. Fucking
and
doors.
A door. You can give me an engineering check.
I think we've got investigator door with us.
I mean, everybody can give me an investigation check if they want.
Is that perception check?
Am I making an engineering? Or
Engineering, sorry.
25.
16.
27.
That was investigation.
Sorry, that's
Engineering.
perception or
Wait.
engineering, sorry, my bad.
Oh, is it perception or
20.
engineering? Oh, in that case, it's my perception.
25 engineering.
Yeah. Yes.
35.
27 perception.
They're like bulkhead doors to a panic.
Oh.
So you imagine it's like a security feature within penthouses of CEOs and big companies to have a safety feature in play for if somebody came to abduct them or somebody came to
Arrest them.
That would be illegal to try to resist arrest. But these are unlocked. And you get to the last one, and Investigator Jack Daw is at the door looking at Jack's character Kaz. As he... Everybody ready?
Ready?
Yeah.
It opens.
No resistance.
Whatsoever.
We're not walking into a trap.
As you file into the room,
It's not gone.
I think I will probably immediately find the nearest cover.
behind this, what looks like a server table, or like a... It does look like a giant server. But as you begin to pile in, everybody give me a perception check, please. Yes.
Oh.
That's what I thought.
34.
27.
28.
14.
Okay. The room is trashed. There are broken screens on pretty much every device in this room. You can see that, like, over to the far side of this side of the room to you guys, so this would be at the left as you walk in, there is like a large wraparound desk, a square one. It is like cracked, the screens are broken and flickering. It looks like the keyboards have been heavily damaged. The server core that you're in front of, it looks like it's taken some like blunt force trauma, not much, enough to just slightly dent some of the casing. There are two other terminals over here, completely shattered, and you see the hologram just stood over there. The rest of the room, you can see where this area is, this like observation platform, intersects with the 45-degree glass of the top of the tower, and behind this hologram you can see the eye, the stars. Welcome to my office. And we'll see you next week.
Do we have to wait a whole week?
Yes, that's a great little...
Cliffy! Oh, no, Cliffy!
Stuck with Cliff Richards.
He's going to blow up the entire office with this inside.
With the whole fucking building.
For YouTube and podcast listeners, thank you so much. We'll see you all next week. If you're on Twitch, if you are on YouTube members, well, YouTube members head over there and get the Drift Debrief book. And now we're going to jump into the Drift Debrief. See you guys in a few seconds. Bye YouTube, bye podcast. Dice Gods be ever in your favour.